friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here this evening as Team Canada, Team Czechia look to punch their tickets to the gold medal game against an opponent we still don't know. At time of going live here, Sweden, Finland in the middle of a shootout as they try to figure out who's going to go forward to the gold medal game on their side of things. Canada, Czechia renewing hostilities tonight for what has been a past 3 years of some decisive hockey games at the World Juniors level. But first off, of course, we got Sweden and Finland in a shootout that should be pretty entertaining, at least to start. Friends, welcome aboard if you're just tuning in. Dylan, Graham, Niviak, sorry. Glad to have everybody aboard here as we go. Sweden, Finland here to start the shootout. Sweden in on net first, and see, that's the big thing. This shootout, pretty impactful in terms of the World Juniors here. Sweden holds on to each other at the benches, and well, Rimpinen, who might not have had such a great game against Canada, denies Bjork their first shooter of the game for Sweden. So now stepping up, well, it's an opportunity for Finland to get on the board. Of course, 5-round shootout, so you're going to need to strike 3 here somehow, some way, and Finland denied there as well. So, all right, we got ourselves both shooters denied, and this isn't exactly where I expected to pick up the live stream right off the hop today, but kind of exactly where we are is Finland and Sweden go toe-to-toe in the final bit of action. I have no clue how this game's been going, but hey, guess what? It is what it is. This one shot and denied by Finland. A heck of a save there again, and again, kind of just day ran away from me and getting things sorted to start the new year. And Finland with probably one of the saves of the tournament right there by Rimpinen, getting the job done. So yeah, this shootout determining who. I mean, I guess as a Canadian fan, who do you want? Do you want Finland at a shot of revenge at beating you, or do you want Sweden at a shot of being perfect in the tournament? That's, I guess, a question to be answered. Finland just scored. They're 1 for 2, Sweden 0 for 2. So all of a sudden, just like that, you know, Sweden starting to knock on last chance opportunities here. Nice move there from the Finnish player to go high glove near side corner. Wish I could get excited for this, and I should get excited for this. Just feels wrong to be doing this as a live stream, starting the Canada-Czechia game, having missed what, well, looks like it was a fantastic game here between Sweden and Finland all told. And of course, there's a little bit to be said here for Canada and Czechia as well. Are they going to be labeled up to the same dramatic effect? And if they do, man, the old nation of Canada tonight will be rocking as we go into Monday morning as Finland on net with a chance to score another goal, and I believe it hit double post and stayed out here for Finland. Absolutely unreal. That's a massive double doink there on the posts. Finland, yeah, I think it missed the other post actually. It's kind of hit off the post and trickled across the line and then stayed out. Okay. So here we go. It might be the game of the tournament here, and saying, seeing this missing things, getting things tidied up to start the new year. Sweden in on net, deny. Oh man. Finland needs one more goal or one more stop to win this shootout right here. Oh boy. Finland, Canada, gold medal game. Who says no? I mean, that first game against Canada and Finland to end the group stage was pretty fantastic. So I don't think we could do bad if it was Finland. Of course, seeing Sweden lose another game in the semifinals, that's absolutely wild. But here's Finland, game on the stick, denied. And now all of a sudden it'll come down to Rimpinen, who had his bouts against Canada here. And we'll see if he can stop Sweden one last time to try and advance on to the gold medal game. It's the captain for Sweden coming up here. Berglund with the puck on, game on his stick kind of deal, on net, scores. Of course he does. So now, well, Finland still with one more shooter in the 5 rounds to ace it, has a chance to finish this with a goal. Oh boy, yeah, I'm seeing I missed a heck of a game. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit silly here, but yeah, what a massive game between Finland and Sweden today. And yeah, if you've been watching, friends, I guess let me know how it's been going. It's been a good shootout so far. Wish I could get up and amped for it. Unfortunately, just kind of like settling in for the day, and that's a denial by the Swedish goaltender. Oh boy, we're going to go on to round 6, and Sweden-Finnish fans can't even stomach to watch it here. As, yeah, this is, I feel like this is pretty typical between these two powers out there in Europe, though. This is pretty typical of Sweden and Finland. Right down to the wire, great matches against each other. So, again, who's going to complain about that, especially at the World Juniors? Sweden and Finland will decide who skates in this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 round. Of course, you go round by round here. Save goals, save goal, whatever matches. Until one doesn't match. Finland in on net here. The shot from distance denied by the goaltender again for Sweden. And now Sweden with a chance to ice things here. So, all right, this looks like a gem of a game. Might have to watch it back on TSN if it's available tomorrow sometime before the Canada game. Is Sweden in on net here. Backhander in. They hit the post. Are you kidding me? Sweden hit the post there. Okay. Frendell thought he had Rimpinen beat, but hits the post instead. And it looks like it actually did finally double hit that post this time. Post, and out for Sweden there. They thought they had aced it, but instead it's a chance for Finland in on net. They're going to lose the puck. That's tough for Finland. Hemming, skating into the zone and losing the puck like that. And just kind of lost track of it on the backhand. There was a little bobble there as he took it to tried to take it to the forehand. And now Berglund, tied up the shootout. He's got a chance here to get things going for Sweden to end it right now. Sweden in on net. The shot towards backhand, forehand. Rimpinen laying on the ground. Denies him. Oh my goodness. This thing is nuts. I mean, I didn't know how we were going to get to the 6 o'clock hour before James Duthie and the panel took us home for what should be a good one here tonight between Canada and Czechia. But this is as entertaining as it's going to get in my books is Berglund. Oh man, how bad does he feel about that after Hemming's miss? Finland a chance back the other way. Shot off the blocker. So Finland now 3 straight misses in the 6, 7, 8 round. As Rano going for Finland. And I mean, this, again, just to tune in, thinking, hey, we'll talk about the game a little bit that happened between Sweden and Finland. But to tune into this absolute monstrosity of a heck of a game so far, and Rimpinen breaks his stick off the post as Sweden scores. Man, Finland that close to pulling off the upset in the finals or semifinals. And Sweden instead in the 8th round of a shootout will advance to play either Canada or Czechia. Oh boy, Rimpinen not at all happy with that result. And Sweden very excited to be going on to the finals as they go mob the goaltender there. Man, okay. That was a heck of a start. We should be set up for a very good live stream here tonight, that's for sure. So friends, welcome aboard. It's Canada, Czechia here tonight as the World Juniors. My goodness, what a night so far at the World Juniors with Sweden defeating Finland in the shootout. 8 rounds of it to get the job done this time out for Finland and Sweden. So a heartbreaker for Finland, obviously. I mean, I really don't come in to see if Finland was lucky to be there or what, but heartbreaker for Finland, obviously, that missed opportunity with the puck bobbling away in the shootout a few rounds back, and then Rimpinen just standing tall, couldn't save it on the blocker side. Oh, low pad. Never mind. Maybe even 5-hole. So that's where we find ourselves, friends. Canada, Sweden, as we get Canada, Sweden, if things go according to plan. Sorry, my apologies. Getting ahead of myself here. That's typical, though. You know how this goes. I'm a little scrambled up again. I did not expect to see, Finland and Canada, or Finland and, oh my goodness. What am I doing here? Trying to read text and get going here. Either way, I did not expect to see Finland and Sweden in a shootout when I got things going here on the live stream, but that's where we find ourselves. So again, friends, if you're looking to watch tonight's game, it should be available on TSN all across Canada. Of course, tsn.ca if you want to watch live on streaming. And I just got to check if they've got it over on CTV as well here tonight. They do not on CTV, they've got the Baltimore-Pittsburgh football game. So keep that in mind. It's available on TSN only in Canada today, and of course as well, it is available on, I think, NHL Network in the States, and as well, I've heard Fubo TV earlier in the tournament. Somebody would have to confirm if that's still a thing or if that was ever a thing. But that's another possible option for you there as well if that's where you want to try and find the game here today. So Sweden will advance to the gold medal game. Ivar Stenberg takes home player of the game. And of course, we'll have the player of the game and then the players of the tournament for Finland. A tough go for Finland. They were right there, well, by the looks of it, all game long and just could not finish it off against Sweden in the shootouts. So now all of a sudden you got an opportunity for, Sweden to go perfect through the tournament, go into the gold medal game, and find a way to knock out whoever comes out of our game tonight, Canada versus Czechia. So we'll have to stay tuned and find out, as that's going to be an interesting go, obviously. Canada versus Czechia, it's been kind of a nightmare for Team Canada in elimination games against Czechia the last 2 years. And of course, well, again this year, Czechia gets the honor of possibly knocking out Canada. The nice part is that's just out of gold medal contention. There is, of course, a bronze medal still at stake if Canada cannot figure it out. So for Finland, I guess same can be said. There is a bronze medal still at stake here in the semifinals. So we'll see how this goes for all four teams involved. Czechia obviously would be highly motivated again this year as well to try and knock out Canada here in the semis, with a chance at the gold medal on the line this year for them against Sweden. Sweden's been an absolute buzzsaw at this tournament so far, and we'll see if it gets going here for them into the gold medal game. So Albert, I know I've made the mistake of saying Canada and Sweden already and probably cursing it again. We got to get through Czechia tonight. That's the big test, and obviously Canada not being able to do that 2 years in a row in the quarterfinals. How much does that change this evening will be the question. It is a 6:40 puck drop here between Canada and Czechia this evening. It might slightly be delayed actually because of the longevity of this this Finland-Sweden game. So I guess we'll have to wait and see, but as far as I would understand, we've got ourselves a very interesting situation here for obviously Canada, because again the Swedish side buzzsaw, right, and they find a way to gut through what could have been a very devastating, I think, upset for Sweden at this World Juniors had Finland found a way to win this game. And now, for Canada, the problem is they can't look forward to Sweden yet. They still got to take task against Czechia and get over that hurdle, which is them eliminating Canada twice in 2 years in the quarters, and now a shot to do it for a third year, this time in the semis. So, Aaron, trying to get through that while also reading your comment there. The Okamoto's signing there for the Blue Jays. Again, every number you've been able to see via any sports outlet, looks like it was a great signing for the Blue Jays. I think it's a nice little addition given the fact that, again, the Blue Jays, no matter what happens with, Bo or whatever, it's just another solid bat in the lineup, and the Blue Jays, again, could use that because, again, I think, the bench mob for the Blue Jays there that just kind of, got the job done when called upon. You have one more big bat in your lineup in that World Series, and I think it just ends a different way for the Blue Jays. And maybe that versatility here of having another bat, just that's a little bit bigger. Maybe you don't have to pinch hit for it. I don't know. I really actually don't know what to make of Okamoto yet until we start seeing some more some spring training games, and then obviously whatever else happens after that. So I know the numbers are good. That's about all I understand out of Okamoto coming out of Japan to play for the Toronto Blue Jays at the MLB level. So friends, welcome aboard, I guess, if you're just tuning in after this Finland-Sweden game has come to an end, as we should be rocking and rolling for a great matchup here tonight between Canada and Czechia. Obviously, Aaron, The puck drop isn't for another 42 minutes. Yes, so that would make it 6:30. So I'd expect 6:40 will be official puck drop for Canada and Czechia tonight. Canada, Czechia. Oh boy, that's a matchup and a half that again, I think this tournament just continues to give Canada the opportunity to redeem themselves. The first game against Czechia, big redemption there. And obviously then, the win against Latvia, going into Denmark, you knew that'd be a laugher. And then the victory against Finland, you just had to top off a perfect group stage thus far. The Canadian squad was able to do that. And then as well, you go from there and move forward to now the quarterfinals where, you've been eliminated past 2 years in the quarters. So Canada takes care of business there. And then, yes, now you line up a semi-final matchup against Czechia, which is going to be, again, a massive opportunity here for the Canadian side to just continue to show and prove that there's a little bit of a different mentality, a little bit of a different team this year here at the World Juniors level that wants a different result. So that's all we crave as Canadians ourselves here tonight. Again, friends, if you haven't had a chance yet to vote in the poll, make sure to do that. Canada versus Czechia. Who goes for gold? Right now, 83% of you voting for Canada, 17% of you voting for Czechia. So stay tuned here as we get ready, well, obviously for what should be a really fun hockey game tonight against the Czechian side. Obviously, there's been some great matchups at the World Junior level here the past few years for these two teams. And again, Canada, the redemption tour, I mean, like I said just 5 seconds ago, it just keeps writing itself. And that's really all it comes down to, is they got to find a way here to get the job done tonight. That's for sure. Colin, welcome in as we get rolling into almost the 6 o'clock hour, just like that. Feels like that weird situation with the shootout really just chewed up a whole bunch of clock. I'm not used to it chewing up. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go run upstairs and quickly refill the water bottle and get things going here for the 6 o'clock hour. I'll be right back. Stay tuned, friends. This is Dolynny TV. All right, well, let's get back to this quick refill there of the water bottle. And I'll tell you as well, friends, if you haven't already ventured over to Gillis TV, everybody's got some nifty different things going on at Christmas time on their YouTube channels. And Gillis TV pulling out the old Lego set there for absolute classic, the old Too Fast, Too Furious Paul Walker car. So definitely if you want to go check that out, I'm going to give that a little bit of a shameless plug there for them. As, yeah, it's kind of that time of year, right? You have some obviously new stuff to do, and the YouTube shorts, I will tell you this straight up, you can almost do any fun thing you want on shorts and everybody enjoys the heck out of it somehow, some way. So that's where we're at. As again, as you would catch, the Blue Jays, obviously a heavy short focus here on the channel when it comes to the YouTube shorts as well. So the Blue Jays, what do we know about that? We were talking about Okamoto there a little bit. The Oilers, what do we know about that? Tailspin coming out of Christmas? I don't think really. I think it's just, again, the Oilers just need somebody in the bottom six to step up. And I know everyone's like, well, they need more ice time. It's like, well, you're not getting zero, so you got to produce at some point here if you're one of the Oilers' bottom six forwards. So 82% of you going on Canada for the gold medal game here. Czechia clocking in at 17-18% right now with the votes. So stay tuned. I guess we'll see how this poll wraps as we go along for the ride here on the live stream tonight. Is glad to have you aboard. It's been an interesting night already. Running around doing my thing, getting things ready for a new year at work, and then all of a sudden you walk in the old live stream and it's shootout time between Finland and Sweden. So that was an interesting go, and kind of, well, it's thrown me off my game a little bit here, if I'm going to be honest. We're 5 minutes to 6 o'clock, which means we're 45 minutes away from puck drop between Canada and Czechia this evening. As hopefully Canada and Czechia live up to that exact same billing. Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun here. As slimmest of margins between Sweden and Finland, as everything in the last 9 straight games at the World Juniors has been a 1-goal game with a 5-4 split and 4 extra time games. That is absolutely unreal. And of course, Mangiapane as well calling. That's kind of a question mark for the Oilers right now, as well as trying to figure out what is going to happen for them. But as far as we know, still nothing happening unless I know I missed something again. Like I said, this afternoon's kind of been a little bit of a scramble, but I don't think there's any update on the Mangiapane front. I'm just scrolling here, and I don't see anything. A whole bunch of football talk. I guess it is Sunday after all, so bear with me as I scrolled through the football talk there, trying to find anything. There was a lot of talk as well about this Sweden-Finland game that just wrapped up on our television sets. A nuts finish to the gold medal quest for the Finnish side, that's for sure, as they lose in basically a shootout in the 8th round. So again, when James Duthie in the panel is talking about the slimmest of margins between Finland and Sweden, yeah, that continues to be the case here. Also, what's going to be nuts here, friends, is we got a whole bunch of international competition happening this year, by the way. We got the World Baseball Classic, we got the FIFA World Cup, we've got as well the Winter Olympics. So there is a lot going on the international calendar this year. So the old Team Canada may have a bunch of coverage here on the channel this year. I will tell you, there could be a lot of opportunity to talk about Team Canada on the international stage, and of course that's something I'm always proud to do. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, next up is the Olympics, so stay tuned. We'll see what the game times are looking like, and of course if they can get the Olympic Stadium for hockey done up in time to get things rolling. So that'll be a whole nother question here, is how much of a debacle that's been so far at the site there in Italy. So we continue along, waiting for this evening's game to get underway. Canada, Czechia, after a wild one between Finland and Sweden. Of course, it's going to be a big-time matchup for Canada and Czechia. Again, Czechia, if you missed it a few minutes ago, like I said, for Czechia, they are looking to, for another year in a row, eliminate Canada from gold medal contention this time. I mean, from medal contention the last 2, but from gold medal contention this time. As the last time, obviously, tough game before that, tough game, and now for Canada, you're trying to get the job done here against Czechia in a massive situation where you find yourself with a chance to go against the buzzsaw that is Sweden at this year's tournament. So I guess the question is, how will it pan out? Well, again, if it pans out like the first game of the tournament, Canada advances to the gold medal game and we play Sweden. If Czechia has anything else to say, it's going to turn out not so great for Team Canada. because obviously Czechia looking to bounce Canada from the medal round, gold medal round for the third straight year. And, they're going to be unforgiving as much as they possibly can be about that here this evening as Sweden beats Finland 4-3 in a shootout. A tough finish there for Finland, right? That miss by Hemming, just walking down through the middle there and bobbling the puck, and then obviously the cold finish there from Frundell going 5-hole. Now that I actually see the proper angle close up, and just rimping and losing his mind there. Kind of upset with that one. So, tough go, but hey, you know what? End of the day, for Canada and Czechia, they still have to decide things here against each other, and that's where the question will be. Are they able to get past each other for the gold medal game? That'll be the question here tonight. What do we got? Did you do anything we need to know? Is there anything else? Corey Pronman, actually, big time account to follow on social media. The next USA World Junior will either be 2030 or 2031, or else it'll be 2031 if you're breaking down 2030, 2031. So another 5 years away for Team USA to host once again. And again, I guess it depends who you're following on in terms of crowd sizes at the World Juniors. I know some people upset with it, some people just don't even seem to care. So again, it is what it is, and obviously Red Deer Edmonton have a big job to do in terms of filling the stands here. And Red Deer and Edmonton have done a lot of hosting over the past few years, it feels like. So that's kind of where we're going to have to show up and show out here in the province of Alberta as Team Canada comes home for another year at this, the next 2027 World Juniors. So friends, stay tuned here. I'm just going to quickly run upstairs again, grab a quick bite. Can smell food. Smells good. I'm going to grab a quick bite and we'll be right back here around 6:08. Let's put the timer on. All right, well, a little bit quicker than I expected, but hey, you know, at the end of the day, we got a job to do here. It's Canada. It is Czechia. World Juniors, semi-final number 2. We got 42 minutes till puck drop as Canada tries to take home a victory and an opportunity to meet with Sweden in the gold medal game. Oh boy, that seems crazy to say. Feels like this week just started, but obviously the World Juniors moving along with rapid pace here, and well, we're almost done and back to the regular NHL season grind here. The Oilers, obviously, I don't know how much grind we want to get back to with that though. So for Canada versus Czechia, right, a 7-5 final last time out for Canada on Boxing Day. Like I said, it feels like we just did this, but it's kind of where we're at, is the World Juniors have come full circle, at least back to the start here for the Canadian side. And now this game against Czechia, all too important in terms of determining a lot for Canada. Again, bronze medal after not medaling for 2 years in a row, not a bad outcome, but you'd still have to beat Finland. So you at least minimum want to beat Czechia tonight and take your chances against the powerhouse that has been this tournament, the Swedish side. So I guess now the question for Canada, can they come out with a start to the hockey game similar as they have to most everything except for the game against Latvia, and really just dictate the pace, dictate the play, dictate the opportunity to win fast and furious, at least in the first period, right? That game against Slovakia, done after 1 period of play. Hopefully a little bit more entertaining hockey than that then that second and third period against Slovakia. Again, we'll see if that happens. But game starts in about 40 minutes time. They have puck drop scheduled for 6:45 this evening, in fact, so it's not 6:40. They've got it scheduled for 6:45, so they have delayed it 5 minutes due to Finland and Sweden ending as late as they did. So interesting to note there as we get closer and closer to again, watching Canada face off against Czechia now inside the final 40 minutes to go. Again, really didn't move the needle all that much, but an important game for Canada, again, not to be eliminated by Czechia for a 3rd year in a row, but also, like I'm saying, you got to come up with a result here, and at least getting into the gold medal game, you can say you were there. That's, end of the day, what it comes down to in my mind, is if Canada can find a way to get to the gold medal game by defeating Czechia here, then at least you were in the gold medal game, and a loss is a little bit more, acceptable than, going to the bronze medal and either winning or losing that. So, especially if you lose the bronze medal game. And for me personally, I'd just like to sit back and, broadcast the gold medal game as well. The unfortunate problem is work will be a factor tomorrow if Canada gets into the bronze medal game. So we're trying to obviously get to the gold medal game here so as I can be live, but also so as we can watch Canada hopefully win the gold medal against Sweden tomorrow night. So as well, Matt, for those of you that remember Matt from back in the day during the 2024 playoff run for the Oilers, Matt will be alongside for that one tomorrow night. So stay tuned. As not one trick pony. So the lines for Canada so far, even strength goals, 7 by the first, 6 by the second, and 7 by the third, and then 2 by the fourth line, not including empty net goals. So that's a lot of goal scoring. We know Canada's put up a massive number of goals at this year's World Juniors. And Viking Girl coming in talking about what a game it was against Sweden and Finland. Well, again, I was scrambling around getting my New Year's stuff finished, kind of delayed to the very final day of the holidays, basically. And, well, I got a lot done today. But now the question is, can we kind of go into the new year prepared because of it? And I feel like I'm already behind because of missing Sweden versus Finland. So, friends, welcome aboard. I just have to take another time out. Again, got a reminder as I keep yammering about what I've been doing all day. I got to go flip laundry here so as I can kind of get things rolling for after the live stream. So stay tuned. All right, well, let's get back to it, friends. This old laundry machine, she wasn't quite ready to be done yet, so we'll get things rolling for the live stream once again. Again, if you're new, welcome aboard. Glad to have you as we get things rolling here against Czechia this evening. Canada, Czechia. An important matchup this year. Again, like I'm saying, for the Canadians to not be eliminated for the third year in a row at the hands of Czechia. That's obviously what we're looking to avoid first and foremost. And then as well as we go for, gold medal game against Sweden. So there's a couple of things here for Canada that are on the wish list here tonight. And number one is beating Czechia. Number two is a gold medal game. Kind of both in the same, but two very differently compartmentalized things for the Canadian squad this evening. So again, if you're wondering, the next U.S. World Juniors will be 2031. That feels crazy to say, but that is where we are at. 2031 is the next chance we're going to get to have the World Juniors rock and roll in the States. For now, though, 27 comes back to Canada, Edmonton, versus Edmonton for Group A, and Red Deer for Group B if it all goes there. So there it is. And Aaron, the priority draw as well for tickets in Alberta. There is a priority draw. I think it's January 6th is when the priority draw opens up for the seating at Rogers Place and the stadium in Red Deer. I always forget what it's called. I want to say it's the Centrium, but I think it goes by a different name, or maybe it used to go by a different name, and now it goes by the Centrium. Not 100% sure. I screw that up every time. I've only been there once, so forgive me. But the Oilers, they're going to have a nice extended Christmas away from Rogers Place this year. That's for sure. They'll probably be on the road right before Christmas, probably around the 23rd or 22nd, and then probably as well, head out on the road until at least January 7th. I would figure, because there's no other way to get that done for the Oilers unless they go in there and play on whatever the day between the quarters and the semis is, but I doubt that. So look for that weird road trip for the Oilers around Christmas time next year. Maybe not done with Eastern Conference opponents out east on road trips before Christmas next year. I think the old scheduling gods knew the fact that Edmonton and Red Deer were hosting the World Juniors next year and kind of made it light on the Oilers this year. So Jack Ivankovic, the starting goaltender for Team Canada tonight. We are 34 minutes away from puck drop between Canada and Czechia, as it is going to be an all-time tilt tonight, I think, as you saw what Sweden and Finland did, and I know that Czechia at the very least will be looking to match that, and if not, try and take the victory from Canada, while Canada is trying to leave no doubt in mind here about what is the situation with going to a gold medal game. So we'll see. Ultimately, lots of time to decide things yet. We haven't even started the game, and the anticipation kind of killing me here, as this has kind of been on my schedule all day, but time kind of snuck away from me, honestly, and unfortunately that's where we find ourselves as we try to get set up for what's going to be a good game. I did have a momentary brief idea to live stream Sweden versus Finland, but I decided better of it, and man, what a turn of events that game turned out to be. Again, another classic between Sweden and Finland. That shouldn't be no surprise, but just the fact that you had the idea and you missed out, Tice. That'll happen. But ultimately for Canada tonight, again, all four lines have to be clicking. The fourth line having two even strength goals is a massive addition ultimately as well, after Canada scored 13 goals all tournament last year. For Canada to be up over 30 this year and an opportunity in the semifinals to keep scoring more goals, that will be a huge thing for this Canadian squad if they can find a way to just keep lighting the lamp again. A few goals in the first period, 2, 3, or 4 would be massive here, but I think the Czech side will be pretty well focused on containing Canada and preventing anything from happening. Tij Ginla, Michael Misa, Porter Marteau in the lineup up top, Gavin McKenna, Michael Hage, Brady Martin second line, Caleb Denoyer, Cole Baudouin, and of course Sam O'Reilly on the third line, Jet Luchenko, Cole Reshny, Braden Coots on the fourth line. Defense remains unchanged. All 8 characters are in. Jack Ivankovic and of course Carter George backing up. Sam O'Reilly, though, having himself a tournament so far, his first major tournament at the international level, and he showed up and showed out as a former Edmonton Oilers draft pick back in 2024. Ultimately, this past summer, getting traded by the Oilers for Ike Howard. An interesting turn of events there for him, thinking that he was going to be a part of the Oilers youth movement, and then instead gets traded for a main guy now of the Oilers youth movement. So that is if, Chris Knobloch ever plays the kids when it comes to giving them ice time. So yeah, that's where we find ourselves. Obviously, again, if you're just tuning in, Sweden defeated Finland earlier today 4-3 in the other semifinal in a shootout, an 8-round shootout. So it was pretty wild one right there. And again, friends, I don't know why we keep putting politics in the chat, but so for ultimately Canada here tonight, it's just end of the day, get this victory against Czechia. Don't leave it to doubt, really. Because again, against Czechia, I mean, we've seen what they've done to us the past 2 years in a row here in these quarterfinals, and again, the semifinals. Maybe that motivation even that much more for the Czech side. So should be a really good game. Like I'm saying, that game, Finland-Sweden, left a lot to be measured up against. But for Canada, you almost don't want to measure up against it. You almost want to be the opposite of that, where you just go out there and kill Czechia so bad in the score clock that it just doesn't matter at the end of the game that you measured up to Sweden or Finland. You are going up against Sweden in the final game of the tournament, the gold medal game, because again, like I said, I will not be able to live stream the bronze medal game. Again, got to get back to work at some point here in 2026, the first day of work opening tomorrow. And that feels wild to say, because obviously it's been a wild holidays, having all these days off and being at work as much as I have been, even being there Friday? I was there Saturday, was there today, so I've been there every day except New Year's Day at this point so far this year. So for not being open yet, we're doing a great job of being busy at work. And just kind of where we're at is Canada, Czechia. We are 30 minutes away from puck drop. That's an exciting opportunity, again, like I said, for Canada here to just put all doubt. Right, we kind of opened up the tournament with some doubt against Latvia, but an exciting opportunity here to just 2 defeats of Czechia in the same tournament right after being eliminated 2 years in a row by Czechia. Just saying, that lines up very, very beautifully for Team Canada. And again, friends, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button here tonight, would love to have you aboard for, as you see what the distraction topics are, the Oilers, a little bit of other international flavor when it comes to Team Canada, and of course, a little bit of Toronto Blue Jays as well. So where you have just officially, this just in, crossed 19,000 subscribers here on the channel. So inside the last 1,000 subscribers to go to the grand total of 20,000, the big goal here to start 2026. So we're rolling along for what should be a fun one this evening. Again, friends, like I'm saying, if you haven't already had a chance to check out some of the other hockey offerings today, I know that Patrick from over there at the Oilers Fanatic had a big video out today, if I can just find it, kind of going over Kasperi Kapanen, the Oilers' new lines, already busting apart the kid line, updating some injuries, and then some other team discussion as well. So good old Patrick keeping things rolling there on the video side for you when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers. And obviously, there's been some news about Andrew Mangiapane over the past 24 hours. So that was my my opportunity this morning to talk about that before the day got all too busy, and we got wrapped up obviously later on in the evening with this, the World Junior Chatter. So we're rocking and rolling now, 45 minutes into the live stream here tonight, friends. Glad to have you aboard for what should be a great game between Canada and Czechia. A massive game in terms of Canada trying to find a way to get the job done against a Czech side, like I said, that have eliminated us 2 years in a row here over the past little bit. So see what happens here as things carry on. Of course, well, once again, take a quick pause. Just going to run, change the laundry. I don't know if you can hear that chiming in the back. All right, let's get back to it again, friends, here as Team Canada, like I'm saying this evening, takes on Czechia at this year's 2026 World Juniors, in which should be a semifinal. Again, like I'm saying, that I don't want to stack up against the semifinal we just saw between Sweden and Finland. So Aaron duly noted, kind of par for the course when the desk is all kind of so close together. But end of the day, good to know my mic at least does pick up sound. That's for sure. As we get rolling here, friends, towards the last 25 minutes before puck drop between Canada and Czechia this evening. An important matchup here for Canada. Like I'm saying, I can't understate how important it is to give yourself a chance to at least play for gold, because if you don't, there's nothing guaranteed about a bronze medal game against Finland. And if you lose that one against Finland, the disaster class of finishing 4th instead of 5th is nightmare fuel. But also the disaster class of losing for a 3rd straight year against those guys in Czechia, that would be another problem in and of itself for Team Canada. So, hopefully things just keep rolling along here in the tournament as they have so far, and Canada can find a way here and now at this year's World Juniors to get the job done against a Czech side that is desperately looking to kind of prove that point to Canada one more time in a row in an elimination game. And again, it's not an elimination game as in Canada can't play for bronze, but elimination game in terms of, Canada's gold medal contention is done if they lose to Czechia here and now. So we continue for what should be a really impactful game for Canada. Obviously, if the results are there and the results are great, then that's going to get everybody buzzing for a great afternoon matchup against Sweden. I guess 6:30, so evening matchup against Sweden after work on the first day of the working month, working year, I guess, for 2026. I know some people might have went back to work Friday. I know somebody went back to work today, so if you can believe that. But that's kind of where we're at. Is it's going to be interesting to see everybody kind of get back to regular life all together starting tomorrow, a big Monday with a gold medal on the line at the World Juniors. Hopefully, fingers crossed for Team Canada against Sweden. Amanda, welcome in as we get things rolling for this game in about 23 minutes now. So we just have a Michael Hayes feature here on TSN this evening, as TSN obviously taking a moment to appreciate a pretty impactful piece of this year's Team Canada roster, and Hayes as well, a big part of the Montreal Canadiens' future, that's for sure. So we have, as we often do, around 6:20, 6:25, the quiz on TSN, as James Duthie will take the panel through a couple of thought exercises here as we're getting set up for what should be an absolutely huge game, like I'm saying, between Canada and, of course, Czechia this evening. So what I want to do right now, if there's any Blue Jays fans in the chat, I want to drop a video in there for you, because what I will tell you, this channel, as much as it's all about hockey, we've kind of started mixing back in the Blue Jays as of late. So just want to get that out there for you. If you do want to follow along for some Blue Jays news, we'll do that as well as we get that to the chat right there for you. So the Blue Jays signing Kazuma Okamoto yesterday, and by all indications, that is a massive signing for the Toronto Blue Jays. So see how that all plays out as they continue along to try and figure out what this new roster for the Blue Jays is going to be capable of. Hopefully a World Series championship, I will tell you that much for sure. So we're rolling into, like I said, just about the 6:30 part of the hour here. Azhar, you're working out at Tim Hortons today. Hey, let's go Canada. I like it. As we are getting closer and closer to puck drop again, I will tell you it's delayed a little bit today because of the Sweden-Finland ending. The game ending right in a shootout 8th round. So I think they're going to take 5 minutes additional to drop the puck at 6:45, as it is where it's at. As Albert, the announced start time is way off. Well, are you talking my announced start time, or are you talking the announced start time by TSN? because that's kind of the problem. Is TSN will announce the start time of the game at the start of their pregame. So TSN will always tell you games at 6 o'clock, and the game actually doesn't start till 6:40. Whereas I think the puck drop is slated, as you see on TSN's live score here, for 6:30, and then the puck drops at 6:45. Again, it's what the NHL, it's what all pro hockey teams, it's what all pro things are doing for us nowadays, is just kind of going out there and delaying puck drop as long as possible, whether it's to get more ads in, whether it's whatever to get in, more time for the pundits to talk. I don't know what to tell you. Monique, welcome aboard as we get things rolling for what should be a great game tonight between Canada and Czechia. That's, again, all I can tell you. It may not stack up to Sweden, Finland. I will caution you that. If you watched that game earlier today, from everything I can tell from watching an 8-round shootout, it was a heck of a hockey game. And, of course, Sweden and Finland is just one heck of a classic matchup, start to finish. But tonight, for Canada, it should be a fun finish no matter what, as long as they find a way to win, because I don't think it'll be a lot of fun if we lose this one, especially if we lose in the style that we have against Czechia the last 2 years in a row. So hoping things turn around here this evening, and hopefully, like I said, things aren't further delayed. Albert, I know you're talking about things being delayed as they are, but hopefully not further delayed by the in-stadium crew, because what happened already in this Finland-Sweden game, the reason why I think the Canada-Czechia game got delayed to start with, is they had a Zamboni ice issue before the start of the shootout, so kind of a tough go there for the Finland-Sweden game, as they had to wait around for the shootout to get going, but also for Canada versus Czechia, it's delayed just that much more because of that. So tough go, and of course, just hopefully Canada, no matter when puck drop is, they just get underway and get going relatively easy against Czechia here tonight. So we're rolling along on the pregame. Obviously, David Jiricek, overtime winning goal, is virtually good as goal, as the only Canada has stopped Jiricek. Sorry, I was trying to read that too quick. Only Canada has been able to stop Jiricek so far at this year's World Juniors. The only team he has not scored against at this year's tournament. So we are now within, about 18 minutes to puck drop here between Canada and Czechia. And Adam Jiricek has had himself a tournament and a half here for Czechia as well. He's kind of been their big part of the team. And I think that's not necessarily unexpected for a team that ultimately expects a lot out of Jiricek, who I believe is he a St. Louis Blues draft pick? I believe he is, if I have this correct in my head. So kind of a lot of expectations on these young guys, obviously, at this tournament every year. And for Canada, you know what? Credit to Gavin McKenna for showing up and showing out so far. Hage, Brady Martin have been fantastic. The top line took some time to get going for Canada, but man, oh man, are they cooking now. And obviously as well for everybody else involved, it's been exactly what you want to see. Sam O'Reilly so far this tournament has been the money that Oilers fans thought he would be, and that I'm sure Tampa Bay Lightning fans are excited for. I think on the defensive side of things, Zane Parekh, I mean, I'm an Edmonton Oilers homer with the best of them, but Zane Parekh is going to be an absolute beauty for the Calgary Flames. And you know what? If he doesn't turn out to be a beauty for the Calgary Flames, he will be a beauty for somebody out there in the NHL. And I think if he goes back to the Flames this year, there will be a lot of confidence gained from having played here at the World Juniors and doing exactly what he's done so far this year. So looking forward to ultimately seeing all those guys do exactly that more here in this semifinal against Czechia this evening as we continue on here on the pregame edition. And again, friends, what I will tell you, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, I want you back. We got the gold medal game tomorrow. I think no matter what, we'll probably live stream the gold medal game. I think that does make sense. Matt and I will get going with it, but would love to see Canada versus Sweden. Obviously, that's, I'm sure, what Matt would love to show up for. And at least go be able to celebrate at the bar after the game as well. So, Canada, Czechia here at 6:30. And, of course, as well, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, well, now is the great time to do it. You can be a part of the, haul to 20,000 subscribers. We are 995 subscribers away here on Dolynny TV from hitting 20,000. Absolutely unbelievable. I thought the World Juniors would be a big chance to get closer and closer to that goal, but ultimately seeing the results has been absolutely fantastic. So for all of you that have hit that subscribe button over the past 2 weeks, thank you so much. You've really made the Christmas holidays quite special, just in terms of growing the channel and having a good time doing it. So who goes for gold? That is, of course, the poll question here tonight. 140 of you going for Canada, or 140 votes, sorry, 86% of you going for Canada, 14% of you going for Czechia. Har, thank you so much. And LJs, welcome back. As we get things rolling into now the 6:30 portion of the broadcast, which means we are 15 minutes away from things kick-starting here tonight. Julian, thank you as well. As Canada tries to get the job done this evening against Czechia. Like I said, kind of part and parcel. You're trying to get the job done against Czechia, but you're also trying to go to the gold medal game. While two in the same, two totally different things for Team Canada. Is there's a little bit of pride on the line beating Czechia, but there's also a lot of pride in the result getting to the gold medal game, and those are two separate things because of what Czechia's done to you this past 2 years at the World Juniors. So we are set and ready to rock and roll for what is going to be an absolutely unbelievable game here this year. 2024, obviously Czechia stunning Canada. We never thought that one so possible. And then, well, you know what? Canada in 2025 not coming up with a better result, as Czechia fired home the victory as well. So what? Nervous? Yeah, no, this is a good game to be nervous for, friends. If you're tuning in from Canada this evening and you're nervous, I understand that. I almost would feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're tuning in from Czechia this evening, I'd almost feel if you're Czechia, there's almost a little bit of a quiet confidence here tonight when it comes to this hockey game, simply because, you walk out there and, hey, you know what? We eliminated these guys 2 years in a row. It's another elimination game. Man, I think we have our number here this time out. Well, the problem is for Canada, they kind of gave Czechia a little bit of that motivation. You remember Porter Martone's tap on the backside there on the way to the bench after scoring the empty net goal. Yeah, they just showed that. I think that might be a little bit on the minds of Czechia here tonight as well. So there could be a little bit of shenanigans and a little bit of antics in this game as it revs up probably right out of the gate. Czechia ready to set the tone early and obviously prove a point to the Canadians. We are 13 minutes away here, friends, as Canada tries desperately to move on to the gold medal game and avoid for the third year in a row a defeat in the medal rounds against Czechia. It's a game you can't afford to lose here. So Canada, Czechia, semifinal number 2. Sweden, Finland, beautifully as they always do, set the table in the other semifinal. Sweden through to the gold medal game. Finland through to the bronze medal game with the 4-3 or shootout. I was going to say overtime. Shootout loss against Sweden today. So we carry forward now to get things rolling for what should be an absolutely phenomenal game here this evening. As Francis, any good place in a browser to stream this game live for free? No. As far as I know, there is not a good place anywhere to live stream it for free. Unfortunately, again, the IIHF, TSN have done a really good job at clamping down on their rights that they own the broadcast and sending out copyright notices to everybody that tries to steal their broadcast. So kind of par for the course. This is about the best you'll find here on YouTube as we get things rolling for what should be an absolutely amazing game here tonight for Canada against the Czech side. A game in which Canada desperately, like I'm saying, needs to come up with a result, because again, if you don't, there will be a lot, and I mean a lot, of questions to answer at the end of the day for the Canadian side. So we're rolling up here now, just about 11 and a half minutes to go to puck drop. I guess if you haven't already, dropped your score prediction in the chats, which I think we only had one score prediction dropped in the chat so far. Definitely right now would be the time to drop your score prediction in the chat. I want to try and see, where did I see that score prediction get dropped? There was somewhere. That was Graham, way back at the start, saying Canada wins this game 5-1. That's definitely a possibility, right? I mean, Canada has had some good defensive efforts the last few games, specifically as the game wore on against Finland, and of course the game against Slovakia was a nice little tidy effort there as well. So For Canada this evening, a tidy effort defensively against Czechia would go an absolute country mile in terms of trying to win this hockey game. So see how it goes. Hars going for a 6-3 Canada final again. Yeah, right. Canada exploding for a lot of goals in a hockey game ain't exactly a impossible target to hit. They've scored a lot of goals in this game. Junior going for am I supposed to read that as chicken? Junior chicken? Going for 7-6 Canada final. That's a possibility there as well. Like I said, goal scoring, if you're betting on Canada tonight, is probably where you want to go. That said, I mean, I'm not going to advertise the gambling by any means, but Canada's been very successful at a job in terms of finding the way to, score goals. So here's the problem. For Canada, they had done a pretty good job about beating Czechia in the last several tournaments leading up. In fact, they've played Czechia every single year in the elimination tournaments since 2021. Silver in 2021, gold in 2022, gold in 2023, and then loss in 24 and 25. So tough go there for Canada, obviously, the last 2 years, and looking to avoid having Czechia do it to us again here this year. Friends, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, make sure to do that here tonight. And as well, if you haven't already voted in the poll, make sure to do that. 86% of you going for Canada this evening on 187 votes, 14% for Czechia. I'd definitely like to see that creep up for Czechia a little bit as the stream carries forward. Ultimately, though, the game will dictate how that goes forward, so stay tuned and we will find out together, as this is going to be one heck of a game. Canada versus Czechia. We're 8 minutes and a half to go until puck drop. I'm going to quickly go grab a bathroom break and grab an opportunity to refill the water bottle. I'll be right back, and we'll get this thing underway for real at 6:40. All right, we are 7 minutes away from puck drop between Canada and Czechia. Friends, welcome in as Canada tries to take home a shot at Sweden at this year's World Juniors. Stay tuned. I gotta run back upstairs and grab my water bottle. Forgot that on the way. Canada, obviously, a massive matchup here against Czechia in a game in which, Czechia's eliminated you 2 years in a row. You got to find a way to get the job done here tonight. And what I will tell you as well, friends, toast, welcome in. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of, national stuff for Hockey Canada riding on this game. Simply, can Canada climb what seems like Mount Everest now 2 years in a row against against the Czechs? 2 eliminations. Can Canada climb the mountain and get into the gold medal game? That is what we'll try and get going. So let's see what this is going on here tonight against Czechia. hopefully a massive result for Canada. As Finland versus Sweden. That one was a crazy end as Finland tied the game with 6 minutes to go at 3 apiece. And that's, I mean, that was a huge game there for Sweden to find a way to win. And of course the overtime and stuff, what a game it was, going all the way into the shootout in Sweden. I mean, how many breakaways did they have on Rimpinen here? That was something they were talking about before the shootout, but Rimpinen just stood tall. And then Sweden finding a way to get the job done in the shootout against a guy that they couldn't solve in overtime. So that's awesome for Sweden. And, you know, they've been a buzzsaw at this tournament so far this year. So they will get the opportunity from their perspective to play for gold in Canada, Czechia, determine who goes bronze, who goes gold right here, right now, tonight in about 5 minutes time. Glad to have you aboard here on Dolynny TV. Thank you for hanging out this evening as we will see how this one plays out this evening. Owen, welcome in as Canada and Czechia. 6:45 puck drop, so they've delayed it by 15 minutes. I know typically the last few games it's been, you know, 10 minutes delayed, but because of the ice malfunction and also because of the issue with Sweden, Finland going into the 8th round of the shootout, that delayed the game just that much further as well. So this evening, you know, hopefully all in all, Canada can come up with a huge result in this game and find a way to get it done against a Czech side, like I said, that has eliminated us 2 years in a row. That's the only storyline. That's what I keep going back to. That's my comfort. That's my safety zone, because that's the only motivation Canada needs, given though the fact that they have given Czechia some motivation here in this tournament by Porter Martone's poor sportsmanship, and then as well the situation with did I lose you guys? No, didn't lose the live stream. Okay, good. You all saw that, right? You all saw that? Okay, that was wild. Anyway, I'm gonna try and refresh the TV here. It is kind of a scary situation outside right now. There's a lot of ice buildup everywhere here in southern Alberta, but I think my TV box is cooked. Art, good to see you. Dave, good to see you. Yeah, give me a second here. I can't see. Oh, my TV's probably off. That's probably the problem here. There we go. There it is. Okay, so it's just enough of a power flicker to shut off the TV, not the internet. Okay, that's wild. Welcome to it. Great start to the night, but like I said, it's kind of wild weather conditions out there as yeah, it's been a lot of frost, been a lot of ice buildup on the power lines. So I know all the surrounding towns have lost power over the past few days. So I assume maybe it's our turn here. So stay tuned. If you don't hear from me by the time the first period is done, well, you might not understand, but I think we're good. I think TV's working. It was just a little power flicker. Hopefully everything works. Everything turns back on the next time I go to turn it on, and we're good to go. All right, we should be fine and dandy. I'd love to have watched the replay on that, and I just missed my own replay. Game starts in 2 minutes time, positive, and of course we should be ready to rock and roll for what should be a special hockey game here this evening against Czechia. Massive game, absolutely massive game. With 1:45 to go to puck drop, Canada, again, win against Czechia and go to the gold medal game. While those are two in the same, they are two very different things, as Canada desperately needs to just claw out the victory against Czechia and prove a point, but also, in the same right, find a way to get to the gold medal game. So we'll see how this goes here for Canada as we keep rolling along on the live stream. And Kate's asking if I've got a Hyman jersey in there. No, I've only got the Hamblin, Nugent Hopkins, Hamblin, and Connor McDavid. Again, I don't know how, I guess you guys can see the McDavid to my right there. So for Team Canada this evening, the question is, can things be done easily, or are they going to be done the hard way? And Canada so far in every game outside of, maybe Finland at the start and Latvia have done things relatively easy. Jack Ivankovic, obviously a big part of the reason against Slovakia and Latvia for getting the victories. He gets the start here tonight for Team Canada. Alexander Osterberg and Rocco Stakowic get the referee assignments for this game. Michael Ursuluk will get the start for Czechia. 2-1 record, 294 goals against average, 8-something save percentage there for Czechia. So they're hoping for that one. Is ultimately, right, this is our, what could be our last game before getting back to regular full-time Edmonton Oilers coverage here on the channel. But I have a feeling we're going to the gold medal game. At least that's what I'm hoping for here tonight. Dale Hunter on the bench again for Canada, obviously the head coach for this year's tournament. There's a kid wearing a Vikings jersey in behind Dale Hunter. We'll have the face-off at center ice. Is Baudouin the man to do the draw for Team Canada? He'll take things at center ice against the Czech side. And let's see if we can get this going, as this is going to be Baudouin at the face-off dot against Czechia's face-off man. The puck is down, and Czechia is back into their own zone off the end wall from the goaltender, Ursuluk. Ursuluk was able to help the defense get it out to the blue line. That being Denoyer cutting it off there, and, Czech side will just drift it down into the Canadian end. And with 15 seconds gone in the first period of play, we'll have our first stoppage in play. Again, I guess right now nobody asked, but good time to tell you right now that, friends, you are unable to watch the game here because of copyright restrictions with TSN and the IIHF. They do not allow their games to be broadcast by any third parties on YouTube. Hence, therefore, the best I'm going to be able to do for you is some play-by-play. As away we go, says Art. Let's do the face-off to the right of Ursuluk for Czechia. Face-off down as it's pushed forward, and then Czechia is able to push it forward right from there, and through the middle of the ice they come. A nice defensive cut there by Canada. It comes off the end wall as Danford solidifies contact against two Czech players, and that'll be Aitchison being able to flip out towards the blue line area. Baudouin cuts it into the middle, and here now skating with the puck through the neutral into the offensive zone, onto the backhand, forehand shovel was Sam O'Reilly. A great little offensive effort there from the third line right winger. Canada denied on that opportunity by Ursuluk and ultimately forced back into their own defensive zone. Canada coming back the other way. A pick set for Perek as he comes across the blue line for Canada on the pass over there to Porter Martone. Perek with a physical play against the wall, pushing his man into the boards, leaving the puck there for Cameron Reid. Czechia first one's to it. The shot, the glove hand save for Jack Ivankovic right out of the gate. And now all of a sudden tussle and tangle in front of the Canadian net. And oh boy, a little bit of net front there from Czechia right out of the gates, just barely a minute in here. And Jack Ivankovic making the first save as Czechia skated right to Ivankovic, maybe a couple of words right in his face as Canada their first good chance from Sam O'Reilly. The shot on net denied by Ursuluk, and Canada will face a defensive zone. The shots one apiece to start tonight's hockey game. Just a minute 05 into this first period of play. Puck to the far side wall. Czechia along the wall. It'll be stolen off their sticks by Canada. Trying to bat it back into the neutral zone was Brady Martin. And it'll be loaded up by Czechia inside their own territory as they turn back the Canadian attack. Shoveled by Czechia into the Canadian end. Picking it up, McKenzie over to the far side for Brunick. Brunick goes along the bench wall. And a couple of tip-taps by Canada through the neutral zone. Lands on Czechia's sticks, and they will fire it back in. Offside at the Canadian blue line with 18:28 going this first period of play. We are off and running in tonight's hockey game. Glad to have you aboard here on the channel, friends. It is going to be one heck of a fun hockey game if Canada can find a way to get the job done this evening against Czechia. It's now 6:49. We're just barely underway. Obviously, this game taking its time getting going with 1-1 the shot department so far, and 18:28 to go in this first period of play. If you're just tuning in, Reshny off the draw, back to Carroll's over to the far side for Verhoff. This pair got some time in that semifinal game, and I assume they will here as well, as off the end wall, Luchenko inside the Czech zone, working against that end wall, trying to come up with the puck. Instead, Czechia able to out-muscle him there a couple of times. It's flipped out into the neutral zone, knocked down by Czechia, and Canada just with a tight little bat into the offensive zone. Czechia with the recovery rate in front of Ursuluk, and it'll come back across the Canadian blue line inside the near side corner. A bounce right onto the tape of Verhoff. He mishandles. Czechia able to come up with the puck far side wall as it rolls back around now near side inside that Canadian zone. Verhoff with the puck. He'll load up Carroll's one more time. Back to Verhoff. It'll be out down the left wing inside the Canadian territory into the neutral. Canada going for a line change though. Verhoff, I think, well aware of that with the way he placed it off the glass. And here now Czechia skating into the zone. The shot from distance. Rebound in front. Triple tap. Oh my goodness. What a sequence from Jack Ivankovic. I'm sorry, that's mind-melting. About 6 opportunities there, I swear, for Czechia on that puck. And then Canada immediately ices the puck down the other way. But Jack Ivankovic, probably the sequence of the first period that will keep Canada in it as Czechia peeled back off a stick check there of Verhoff. And then there was, let's count them here, 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities against Ivankovic on the same sequence here. So absolutely unreal. As here we go. They're only going to credit Czechia with 2 shots, but Jack Ivankovic, a second-round pick by Nashville in 2025, as this one off the end wall here for Czechia on the draw inside the Canadian zone. The shot towards Ivankovic. Another shot up over top of the net, and this one will be fired out just on a little tip there into the neutral zone. Czechia maintains possession, and this flipping the script there a little bit from how Canada's ran this tournament so far. Coming out of the gates hot, here is Czechia, at least to begin this hockey game's first 3 minutes of the first period. Knocked down in the neutral zone. Czechia will fire back into the Canadian end. This looking to the near side was Danford for Aitchison. Aitchison will flip out into the neutral. Again, you got to watch those clears to the blue line. Czechia will make you pay if you don't get it across the blue coming from your own zone. As this Aitchison to the far side for Danford, loading up Misa in the middle. He didn't connect the pass, and Czechia will be able to come up with a far side face-off dot inside their own zone. This puck turning around everybody, including the camera guy for TSN. And Czechia will cross the Canadian blue line. The shot towards the net denied there. And Canada will tap this one free to the middle of the ice inside the neutral for Iginla down the right wing. Iginla skating with force is knocked off the puck and sealed against the wall as Canada is able to do the same against Czechia down low. And they'll leave that there. Misa into the tape of Iginla. Iginla back to the blue line for Perek. Perek skating with it to the near side. He's got a little bit of room. He'll backhand down low for Martone. Martone back to the blue line, trying to cut a pass for Reed. Couldn't get it through. And here's Martone trying to now cut it off a turnover by Czechia to the middle of the ice once more. Czechia able to stick it there and get it back into the end wall of Canada behind the goal line. Jack Ivankovic able to play that puck. Epiphany, welcome along. Glad to have you aboard for the live stream again here this evening as we get things going into the far side corner, albeit short. Here with 2-1, the shots for Czechia. 15:24 to go here in this first period of play. To the near side, the puck bounced for Czechia. We've still got over 15 minutes to go. That's wild, given how long this live stream's already run. And $1.20 as Gavin McKenna loads up over to the far side. It'll be Czechia picking this puck up, and we have a stoppage in play here on this one. Again, I'm not sure if I missed a whistle or something earlier, but we'll have a stoppage where jacked up the international career record of Jack Ivankovic. 12-1, 102 goals against average, 959 save percentage, 3 shutouts at the Ivan Hlinka, the U18s, and as well what has been so far an incredible World Juniors here. Is gold at the 2024 Hlinka Gretzky Cup as well, 967 save percentage. This one's fired in by Team Canada along that end wall, picking it up. Czechia inside their own zone, trying to put pressure on Canada, coming back up the ice once more. Flipped up off the boards. It'll be McKenzie able to steer it off the end wall over to Brunick, and Canada does not have the zone clear. Here's the opportunity I was talking about for Czechia. Shot towards the net, blocked in front. Second opportunity towards the net is tied up there by Baudouin. It'll be Sam O'Reilly behind his own net, able to get to the far side wing in the Canadian end. Brunick battling. He's going to be knocked off the puck by the Czechs. And then just a missed pass as number 17 for Czechia was alone all in front. Would have had a sure tap in against Ivankovic if he would have been able to get the shot off on the pass. As this one wheeled off the end wall to the near side corner. Czech zone as Matka comes up with the puck for Czechia. He will look to make the play as Czechia will just decide to go for some line changes here. 3 shots registered on the game so far for the Czech side, as Canada only with 1. And like I said, it's a little bit of a deviation from the game plan in the tournament so far from Canada, as Czechia's pretty well controlled things to start this first 6 minutes of play. This one off the end wall, loading back to the near side. Czechia again, a clean break out of the zone. Canada contesting the neutral zone across the line back into Canadian territory, and then tapped out rather quickly as Czechia to the near side will be bounced back into the Canadian zone one more time. This time Danford to Aitchison in the zone exit, trying to get on for Canada here, as both teams not solving much. Czechia the better of the chances so far, as Luchenko looking for an opportunity to get Perek loaded up, and Perek fires one heck of a shot on net, but it's denied in front by Orszaluk, and then Reshny mixes things up in front with one of the Czech players. And we will have our first TV timeout of the World Juniors. Friends, this is my first chance to tell you, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy play-by-play of hockey, hey, that's a reason to hit that subscribe button. Again, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan or a Toronto Blue Jays fan or overall a Team Canada fan, right now is your opportunity to hit that subscribe button, as well as I feel like, given the international calendar for sports this year, Canada and I are going to be quite busy bringing you coverage here, as Canada has the Olympics for hockey. That'll be a big thing here on the channel, I guarantee that, as well as the FIFA World Cup. And what was that other thing? Oh yeah, the World Baseball Classic, as we get geared up for that here in the spring. So there's going to be a lot of fun to be had, and obviously we've got a lot of fun to have the rest of the way home on this live stream so far, as you know, Canada and Czechia engaged in a great matchup this evening in what has been, you know, a tight game. And obviously for Czechia, they're getting the better of it thus far. So see how it shapes up as it continues, as Team Canada, led by Zane Perek at this year's tournament. Zane Perek has had himself an absolutely phenomenal tournament so far. Single World Junior Championship, points by defenseman, 2010 is the record all time, shared with 1995's Brian McCabe at 12. And, well, that's Alex Pietrangelo in 2010. Zane Perek with 10 points so far. He needs 3 to outmatch the Canadian record. We'll see if he can do it here in this year's tournament. Face off to the left of Orszaluk. Canada's got now 2 shots in this hockey game. Face off down. 1 there at the side by Czechia. It'll come to the near side, and it'll be Reed keeping it in the zone with a good strong board play. Ginla trying to come up with this puck. It'll be lifted out into the neutral zone. Reed with the puck will get off the wall. Czechia's able to pick it up in the middle of the ice there after Reed and the Czech player just kind of came off the wall to the middle and lost sight of the puck in the battle for it. And here's Perek with the puck now. He'll turn it over in the middle of the ice. Czechia across the blue line here, and it will be an offside against Czechia with 12:55 to go. Barbershop, whoever scores first is going to win. That's your prediction. Well, I will tell you, these two teams, they could be in for a wild experience here tonight. Again, we know what Sweden and Finland were capable of earlier in this semifinal day of action, so we'll see if that rings true one more time here tonight, as Hage versus Czechia just outside the Canadian zone. Tim, good evening to you. Glad to see you, as this will be won back by Canada off the boards. Tapped back in by Czechia, and loading up now Verhoff for Carroll's. Carroll's with the puck. He'll skate it over to Verhoff, and it'll be tipped into the zone by Brady Martin on a second attempt. And here's Czechia now trying to again clear the zone. They've been pretty successful at getting out and obviously getting up ice, but Canada also pretty good in that neutral zone so far, as this one, like I'm saying, has been a very tight hockey game start to finish so far in the first 7.5 minutes. Canada across the blue line, looking now Hage, looking to get back along the wall. That'll load up Martin for McKenna. It'll be tapped there by Czechia and out of the zone one more time. Backhand to the middle of the ice. And that'll be picked up by Czechia once more. Across the line, Hage with the puck will come to the near side for Martin. Martin busts in to the Czech zone. You know Martin's going to deliver a heavy check. He did there. And Juracek's able to get it turned over to Hage. Hage looking to dance through the traffic of the block of Czechia in front, unable to do that, and Czechia will fire around the near side boards here into the Canadian end. Nice cut there by Aitchison to get it in possession for Danford, who will lift out into the neutral zone. McKenna with the puck, he'll tap it to the far side, and here's Baudouin quickly skating into that puck for Canada. A little bit of a horse color on that play. And this one goes across to the far side. Canada will load up behind the net. Here's Baudouin. Baudouin will look from the boards to tap down along the wall. Picking it up now, Czechia on the turnover. Sorry, the laundry. I couldn't figure out what the big beeping in the house was. It was the laundry throwing me for a loop. Is behind the net. And here's Czechia with the puck. Back to the blue line. The shot through traffic goes wide of the net. Czechia still leading in shots 3-2. Loading up another one on net here. Turn spin off the Czech Canada. Blue line shot. Czechia able to recover the broken stick. That's a lucky break. That could have been a breakaway for Canada if somebody would have been busting up ice on the pass there, as Czechia was able to recover just in the middle of the slot. As Czechia to the far side blue line now with the puck. The shot loading here, looking through traffic. Still looking through traffic. Czechia's just got Canada back on their heels a little bit here defensively, but Desnoyers and Sam O'Reilly with the block. And it looks like we'll have a stoppage and play with 10:37 to go here in this first period of play. Czechia and Canada engaged in one heck of a hockey game so far. And Hage dancing and dipsy doodling, but a good block in front by the Czech defenseman to get everything thrown at that puck to prevent Hage from getting through. And now the question is, how will this period finish up? Canada, obviously, doing the job so far against Czech squad that hasn't backed down. So Michael Hage, 2 goals, 7 assists in this tournament so far for Canada. Face off outside the Canadian blue line. Luchenko helps it back to McKenzie. It'll be batted off the wall there by Brunick. Brunick will see it helped along, and now Luchenko's the man to go chase it into the Czech zone. Wrapped around the boards here. It'll be McKenzie coming crashing down, and now Czechia one-on-one against Brunick. A nice stick there allows Canada back the other way as Coots takes over with help from Reshny. And off the end wall, it'll load up McKenzie behind the Canadian net to the far side. Brunick with pressure coming. Gets it onto the tape of Reshny. Brunick back with the puck. Down the right wing. Shot drifted towards the net. Hit the glove of Orszaluk. And then he was unsure if he should cover that puck or not. And that allows Czechia to get out of the zone with a little bit of concern in front of the net if Canada would have been able to poke at that puck anymore. We are inside the last 10 minutes to go in this first period of play. Brunick from behind his own net. He'll load up to the far side. McKenzie looking to get this one near side. Canada just a content fire it in to the far side there as Robert is golfing and listening here in Thailand. Well, glad to have you aboard, Robert, as this one's going to be a nice play by Reed over to the far side, picking it up. McKenzie, he'll lift into the neutral zone. Czechia cuts it down there just outside the Canadian blue line on that far wall, Canadian zone. It'll be Porter Martone coming up with that puck. And Michael Misa turning it over in the neutral zone. Down the right wing, Adam Juracek, who's been a pest all tournament in terms of whatever opponent he's faced, scoring some clutch goals. Canada the only one to keep him off the board so far. Czechia still maintaining possession. Juracek through traffic. Shot misses wide. Czechia a nice pivot here in the far side corner to maintain possession. Back to the blue line. Tap down low one more time. This should be Martone coming with the puck. He'll wrap it around the far side boards right back onto the tape of Czechia, and this is where Canada's going to get themselves in trouble, turning over pucks along the high boards in their own zone. This time Canada able to wrap it around the boards and get it out cleanly. Czechia back in their own zone, takes possession, and it'll be Hage at the Canadian blue line getting it over to Reed. Now fully up the ice, Canada into the neutral, fired back by Czechia. Both teams, puck is not staying on the sticks too long. That is shot directed off a Canadian stick in front of Ivan Kovic. And this will be picking it up here to the far side off the wall. Czechia gets another turnover inside the Canadian zone. There is no room out there so far in this hockey game. Is picking it up along the wall here. As it'll be battled there now for Canada to pick it off the wall. Aitchison will fire up through the neutral zone, hit a Czech player. And I mean, Canada is just at this point struggling to get across the Czech blue line with the puck in tow. Czechia across, looking to drift this one to the middle. A shot fired wide from a beautiful shooting area for Czechia, and they maintain possession in the neutral zone. They'll fire back in. Canada an opportunity here maybe to come up with possession, tapping it out into the neutral. But that's about all Canada can do. As Too Much, welcome aboard, is tuning in from Okinawa, Japan. Hey, welcome aboard as we've got the international flavor to live stream here tonight. This one in the far side corner for Czechia. They're just continuing to roll around the Canadian zone. The shot towards the net, blockered away by Ivan Kovic. And finally, after this insane sequence where Canada just could not get over the Czech blue line, we will have a whistle with 7:18 here in this one. I mean, Czechia is just not giving Canada a square inch of ice of which to work with here in this one. Quaddy, welcome aboard as well. As it has been an interesting start to this hockey game. That much I can attest to for Canada, as not quite exactly what I expected. As you know, so far Canada in this tournament's dictated from start to finish, usually, or at least been really high octane start to finish, as evidenced in the games against Czechia and Finland. But you know, scoreless, 13 minutes in, and Czechia kind of having the situation they've had, just doing what they've done so far, is very, very interesting to see. So we'll see if it continues here for the Czech side. Obviously, Canada does like to wear teams thin at some point, and we'll see if that is the case as it carries on. What else do we know? Anything? Maybe the shots on goal. Does TSN's website have any different shots on goal? 4-2 now for Czechia over top of Canada in terms of shots on goal. So keep that in mind as we rock and roll here. Luchenko looking like he may take the draw here for Canada. 7:18 to go in this first period of play. It has been an absolutely tough sledding for Canada so far in this first period. And Czechia, to their credit, have at least managed to not score a goal yet. So Canada doing something right defensively. So here we go. Face off to the right of Ivan Kovic. 7:18. See, I got the play-by-play somewhat down, but the old color commentary is not my specialty. We'll have Matt take care of that tomorrow. As this one back to the point, Canada now near side, having to defend against Czechia in the corner of their own zone. Again, Czechia has been pretty solid on the pucks so far in this one. As to the far side, Czechia at their own blue line, chips back into the Canadian zone offside, and that will be a stoppage in play. And Cardian, who to cheer for in Brazil, I guess. I mean, if you're getting games from Columbus or Senators as a choice, Columbus is a lot of fun when they're winning, and so are the Senators. Both teams not so much fun when they're losing, so that's what I tell you. It's a hard choice. As Reshny gets things going off the dot, I'm really not that huge into the Senators. I mean, I have a bunch of buddies that are, but not a huge Senators fan myself. Back when they were going to the Cup final against the Anaheim Ducks, so yeah, but that's a different story for a different time. It's Czechia inside their own zone with the puck. 7 minutes to go here in this first period of play from behind the net. It'll start out for Czechia to the near side across the blue line and into the neutral zone. Canada gets the turnover. Coots fires it back in. Maybe a fourth line shift here that can change the momentum of the game as Luchenko trying to dig this puck free. Czechia, I mean, hey, to their credit, like I said, they haven't scored a goal as they bust down the right wing to the middle of the ice. It's tipped off the stick of Brunick. Ivan Kovic's down in a heap in the net, and we're going to have a stoppage of play, as I'm not sure what's going on behind the play, but it looks like Polishtin will go to the box for Czechia, and Canada and Czechia want a piece of each other here after the collision against Ivan Kovic, as Polishtin talking things over with everything in the net area. Again, awake, good day to you. And yeah, so far, just Czechia stunningly dictating the pace of this game from start to finish in this period so far. Just, again, Canada has not looked lifeless. They just have not been able to whatsoever get going. Sam O'Reilly had the one good chance, and Zane Parekh had the shot from distance. And that's been the story in this game so far. Aaron chimes back in to say goaltender interference against Czechia. So, I mean, maybe the fourth line gets bailed out with a goaltender penalty here by Czechia. And we'll see how it goes. As awake, late to the party, but if you have a live stream, a score prediction, let me know. Always interested to hear that as we get things going. The power play for Canada ranked first, 47.1%, and the penalty kill for Czechia at 75%. Here in this one, ranked third is Hayes. Top of the left circle, goes back over to the top of the right for McKenna. This will be rotated to the blue line here off a block, and Parekh will have to hustle and get that puck back. It'll be fired down into the Canadian end. 20 seconds already gone on the power play, And Czechia even down a man, not really costing themselves chances against, as here across the line, Hage, he'll fire around on the near side boards. Czechia just doing a really great job getting back and supporting each other, and a flip to the blue line here is knocked down by Perek, and then again just a great stick in front. Maybe Canada almost has to take a moment to breathe here and make the simple plays, as Reshny right in front for Canada. An opportunity in the crease. Orshiluk keeps it out. Perek fires the puck, and it is denied again. And Orshiluk will just scrum down on that puck as Martin's pushed over to the crease alongside Reshny, and that's a whole bunch of chaos in front. I actually thought the puck was out of play, to be honest with you, but I think it's somewhere on the paraphernalia of Orshiluk. Kind of, he had it somewhere under like the knee pad of the pad or something. It's just tied up. As that was Hage hitting the post on that chance there for Canada, in fact, and that puck just bounced around a few times. As that is where it's at. An interesting couple of bounces. 4-2. The shots on goal because of the post there against Canada. And that one by Czechia fired into the bench with 5.5 minutes to go in this first period of play. What a first period it's been for Czechia, and what a first period it's been for Canada, at least surviving the threat that is Czechia to start this hockey game. Again, friends, if you haven't had a chance yet to hit that subscribe button, definitely make sure to do that here today. Love if you could, as we close in on 20,000, as the puck back to the blue line there. Canada will pick up the puck. Zane Perek inside his own zone. 55 seconds to go, as that'll be Misa turning over the puck, and then Perek quickly swallowing up the man, hopefully helping out Misa instead. Czechia will skate it back into their own zone and fire it down the length of the ice all the way to Ivan Kovic. We'll just tap this one up, as with 5:08 to go in this first period of play. Perek over to the far side. Luchenko in on Misa. Misa will look to get this going down the left wing. Misa will spin off the check back to the blue line. Perek to the far side, loading up. Martone, the shot from Perek off the end wall. Misa swat at it in front. Tija Ginla scores, breaks the goose egg, and Canada finds themselves up 1-0 on the power play. That was a sequence and a half. The Perek one-timer, the miss, then the rebound, the miss by Misa, the regather. Back in front it goes, and at the side of the net on the far side, Tija Ginla finally finds a way to gather that puck, as Misa, gathered it. He was able to get it in front for Ginla, and in front he scores, and Team Canada takes a 1-0 lead. So maybe one of those designed plays where, you end up bouncing it off the end wall, create chaos for the defenseman as long as he can corral into the back of the net. Orshiluk, no chance on that puck there for Czechia, and Tej is, doing his dad proud at this tournament, doing himself proud as well. Has absolutely a big goal for Canada out of the gate. Again, the power play comes up huge, and I mean, hey, clear as day, that's goalie interference, so you can't exactly argue that one if you're Czechia, but a tough go there to give up what has been a great start to this period for Czechia and give up the lead right out of the gates here in this first period. Brunik off the end wall, as the Wakes going 3-1 Canada. Low scoring game. Well, that's given what we've seen to start this game, as this puck trails down in the Czech zone with 4:20 for those of you who celebrate an icing call against Canada. And Tija Ginla watching that replay right quick, as Inspiratio, welcome back again. As it's been a fantastic tournament for Tija Ginla. The top line took some time to get going, and they've figured out a way throughout the tournament to come up in big moments. And Misa with a pass to the middle of the ice. Misa probably used to passing in limited ice available in front of the net, having played at the NHL level this year. So a big goal out of the Canadians, and now Czechia with 4:20 to respond here in this first period of play. Puck fired towards the net, immediately off the icing, face-off by Czechia. Back to the blue line it goes. Canada will roll up shop as McKenzie gets it over to the near side, and it'll be McKenna trying to get this one out to the neutral zone. Gathering it up is Hage onto the tape of Martin. Martin looking, he'll spin back, trying to avoid contact. Over there, McKenna fires the one-timer off the pass, and now Canada rolling around a little bit inside the Czech zone. A little bit of confidence. Here's that massive hit from Martin, belted the Czech player, but himself in the process, as this one's going to come down the right wing across. The shot by Czechia swallowed up with 3:39 to go in this first period of play. Canada leads 1-0, and now they've had a couple of chances to get into the zone. So we'll see if the power play ultimately is the thing that changes the tide for Team Canada here after what was a lot of time monopolized by Czechia controlling the puck in this hockey game. So we carry forward, friends, into another TV timeout again. I know I've been heavy on the subscribe promotion, but again, watch time on the live stream is about 58 seconds right now. So again, if you're enjoying what you're seeing and you want to come back for the Oilers, you want to come back for the Olympics, you want to come back for the FIFA World Cup, you want to come back for the World Baseball Classic, whatever I can get myself up to. Heck, the Oilers, the Toronto Blue Jays, definitely hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you do that as we carry forward here on the stream tonight. It's been a 1-0 lead for Canada just recently, and a game in which hopefully is a win, because you gotta find a way to beat Czechia in this situation, but you also gotta find a way to get into the gold medal game. Two in the same, two very different things. Mug, welcome aboard, and Emily, welcome in as well. As friends, we're creeping up towards 20,000 now. 979 subscribers away, by the way, so thank you for hitting that subscribe button tonight. As I'm not sure who that is that down along the board there is. I think that's Martin, obviously getting the worst of the contact against Mann, kind of throwing up the shoulder himself into Martin, and that was a heavy collision, and Martin maybe a little bit of discomfort in the right shoulder area, maybe the collarbone area. That's not a good sign at all, as hopefully things turn out all right here for Canada, as Martin's able to tough it out and keep it going. That second line for Canada has been absolutely money all tournament long. 5 shots on goal for Canada, 5 shots on goal for Czechia. Czechia has controlled much of this first period, but there has not been much ice out there to begin with. And here's now Aitchison lifting into the neutral zone to be knocked off the tape of a Czech player into the near side corner Czech zone as O'Reilly goes thundering in for that puck. And a shot from out wide is Danford, and then a shot in front was Desnoyers, and that puck goes out of play. I lost sight of it for a sec on the TV as 3:21 to go here in this first period of play. 5-5 the shots in Canada just, cannot seem to spend sustained zone time in the Czech zone as Desnoyers fires this puck off of the shoulder of Orshiluk, so that should count as a shot. So Canada, I feel like for the first time all game, has the lead in shots. I think they had a first lead in shots earlier on, but now first lead in shots here as the period comes to a late end. 3:20 to go. Face off to the left of Orshiluk, and as Inspiratio is saying as well, if you haven't hit a like on the stream yet as well, definitely give a thumbs up, give a like, whatever you call it nowadays, as this will be picked up by Czechia. Just a soft little chip in the far side corner of the Canadian zone, and it's a turnover immediately as Czechia able to shovel this one to the net. Big save and a rebound, and it's a goal for Czechia as Ivan Kovac came up with the first one sprawling out, but the second one goes in, and Czechia able to tie up the game 1 apiece, and this could be an absolute dandy of a hockey game. Czechia, that's a huge goal here with 3:04 to go in this first period of play. This is the first period. This is the first bit of this hockey game that just keeps giving, as Canada just could not get that puck inside their own zone. And that soft chip and the turnovers again inside your own zone against a team like Czechia are going to cost you. And under the pad, off the pad of Jack Ivan Kovac, and to the back of the net it goes there for Team Czechia, as that one just guides off and across the line. And that's a tough break if you're Canada, having played well enough to be up 1-0 at the point you were, and now 6 shots even. We're tied 1 apiece, as this one's going to be one back off the draw by Canada, tipped in off the wall there into the Czech zone, fired back into the neutral. It'll take a couple of bounces, and this will be Verhoff bouncing it off the boards into the neutral territory one more time. Czechia, just a soft chip this time into the near side of the Canadian zone. Carroll's at his own left-hand face-off dot will fire up into the neutral for loading up Martone. Martone down the left wing into the Czech zone. He'll wheel around the world into the referee's skates. The puck goes. Misa with the ref kind of stuck in no man's land. The shot by Martone blocked in front. Rebound opportunity again led to the side of the net. Could not get it free for Misa and Martone, and this will be wrapped up into the neutral zone. An icing call upcoming as I thought there was, going to be a tip, as the Czech player just lost it between his legs. And with 2:14 to go in this first period of play, we've got ourselves a pretty interesting game through almost 20 minutes, almost through 18 at the bare minimum here, as Canada and Czechia very, very dang close. And Czechia, well, now with the slight edge again, haven't even the game, as Kieran found the back of the net there for Czechia, and it's been a tough go. If you're Team Canada, ultimately, they've dictated the pace out of the first period, it feels like, in every game in recent memory in this tournament, and now, they are tied with Czechia in what has been an unusual, tight checking hockey game thus far. 2:05 to go as the puck in the zone here for Czechia. They're working through the middle of the ice. They're going to get into the Canadian zone and fire a shot from distance, turned aside by Jack Ivankovic, now picking it up as Luchenko will wheel and deal through with McKenna. McKenna across the line. He's got McKenzie in support. McKenzie, the shot, looking back door for the tip of Luchenko, in Canada has taken a penalty, and now Luchenko's going to draw the ire of Juracek with 1:43 to go here in this first period of play. So we'll see how this goes. And what I will tell you about Connor Ingram's, new equipment, the cream colored equipment for the Oilers, is, you got to remember, Tristan Jarry is going to be it's going to be on the shelf until at least mid-January. And I think as well for the Oilers, there was an opportunity there for Jarry to be out longer, given the way obviously the Oilers treat their injuries. So it's a tough situation as Jet Luchenko cross-checking there against the Czech goaltender. It'll be flipped out into the Czech zone by Canada. The penalty kill ranked second in the tournament at 91.7% thus far, as down the right wing, Czechia wheeling into the zone. They draw even in power plays as well, as they can't connect at the blue line far side. This will have to reload things through the neutral one more time with a $1:20 to go here in this first period of play. Across the line will be off the boards there. Czechia looking to get this going. The captain, Sikora, he'll bat around a few times. Sikora will look from the high circle, trying to tap it off the skates and reload an opportunity in front for Czechia. That didn't work out. We're inside the last minute to play. Here's Sikora looking towards the middle. It'll be fluttered through. That one just floated right through past the right-hand side of the net. Sikora loads up, fakes the slap shot to the far side. The one-timer, Ivankovic, is able to deal with that and make the save, as this will be flipped up to the blue line. Not out. Canada again with another failed clear. Here's Czechia. An opportunity in front. Tip play on. Save made twice over by Ivankovic, and will be fluttered back into the neutral zone as Czechia, with 30 seconds of which to operate, as this one will come to the near side. And this will be off the wall here. Czechia trying to get it down low. Cameron Reed able to get it over to Brunick, and out of the zone it goes in Canada. Looking to go for a line change. Denied there by a great quick play of Czechia at their own blue line. And with 8 seconds to go, this should probably do the period for Czechia, as they will skate in behind and skate up and just skate this puck to no man's land. With 17 seconds left on the power play for Czechia, we will skate in to now the second period. First up, the intermission between Canada and Czechia in what has been a heck of a hockey game so far. Czechia with 10 shots, Canada with 6. It's 1-1 after one. Power play goal by Tija Ginla, Michael Misa, and Jet Luchenko. The assists, Max Curran from Thomas Galvis and Adam Benek. The goal that evened the game with just over 3 minutes to go for Czechia. Friends, stay tuned here on Dolynny TV. This has been a fantastic hockey game thus far between Canada and Czechia, and we'll stay tuned to see how it turns out. Again, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard for the Oilers live streams, hopefully the Olympics, and everything else coming through. And as well, what I'll tell you right now, definitely hit that like button on the stream. Be right back in about 5-10 minutes here as we get the first period intermission underway then. All right, well, let's get back to the live stream here, friends. Canada, Czechia, tied at 1 apiece after 1 period of play. What a hockey game it's been so far. Kind of a tough go for Canada. Much of that first period, obviously, the goal from Tij Ginla, the highlight, and a couple of saves from Jack Ivankovic, the same. But it's been a very tight, very closed-up game for Czechia. They have made very few mistakes, and I think from a Canadian standpoint, you can't be unhappy about what that first period was other than a few turnovers inside your own zone. But Czechia just did not give you much to work with, and what you did get, you either hit a post or put in the back of the net. So for Canada this evening, so far, so good, I guess. Same could be said for Czechia. Both game plans, maybe not the Canadian game plan working, but definitely the Czech game plan is confirmed to be working here this evening. 10-6 the shots on goal for Czechia in that first period. They will have 17 seconds of power play time when the second period gets underway. And really, for Tij Ginla, Michael Misa, and Jet Luchenko, that was a huge goal scored, obviously, to get Canada on the board first. If Barbershop's prediction is right, it'll be a Canadian win now because of that. But ultimately for Czechia, what a huge goal for them to score. A second chance rebound opportunity. Max Curran finding the back of the net and ultimately, leveling a game in which was looking like it was bound to be level the whole way through. Both goaltenders were doing their job until both goals went in, and now you find yourself in a situation where, hey, this one could be a heck of a wind down this evening, as so too was Sweden-Finland. Well, they went all the way to the 8th round of a shootout, and if that's where we are headed tonight, let me tell you, things will be bonkers, because there is a 10-minute overtime 3-on-3 at the World Juniors level, and if it stays even that long through 3-on-3, there are going to be some incredible saves, some incredible plays, some incredible shots, and just some incredible chaos all told. So what I will tell you, friends, we're rolling along. Of course, today's Oilers news continues to be focused on the line changes from Knobloch, the failure of the bottom six, and what is going to happen with Andrew Mangiapane. So we continue to wait to find answers to all of that. And for the Oilers, sooner the better would be preferable here, at least from this guy's perspective, as it has been an interesting go, I would say, for everybody involved in tonight's hockey game. Really, I don't think, to expect it to have been that tight between Canada and Czechia, just doesn't seem right, given the first game obviously being 7-5, given, Canada playing Finland, that one being a house on fire in the first period, but also, Canada against Slovakia. Canada got to work early and just never gave up in that first period, and now all of a sudden we find ourselves here with a situation where it's 1-1 between these two teams here after 1 period of play, and there is not, if any, much ice out there at all for both teams. So we'll see how it shakes, as obviously Canada trying to get the job done here to go to the gold medal game. Sweden awaits one of these two teams here at the semifinal between Canada and Czechia. And I'm sure they probably snuck in to keep watching this game, get a little pre-scout in. I'm almost sure they'd be doing that. But DeBrusk straight up from Mangiapane, I doubt it. The Oilers cannot eat any more salary than they're already paying, and I think DeBrusk is somewhere around $6 million, if I'm not mistaken. But again, crazier things have happened. We traded Skinner for Jari, so stay tuned and see what the Oilers decide to pull out of the hat next. As it's going to be a crazy year here on Dolynny TV, that's for sure. Right, the World Juniors, Canada, no matter what, will play on the final day of the tournament. That is something that hasn't happened in a few years. Even just live streaming this semifinal is an amazing opportunity, and I think as well, if you look at going towards the gold medal game tomorrow, that would be a fantastic opportunity to call a game with my good buddy Matt, who you last saw in the 24 playoffs in Game 7 against the Florida Panthers as we close down the streams for that year. And of course, then you got the Olympics coming up in just over a month's time, and then you got the World Baseball Classic, followed by the FIFA World Cup. It is going to be an incredible year of international competition. Then once again, we close out the year end with the start to another World Juniors. So, hey, what can you say? That's going to be an absolute blast to see how this all rolls for Team Canada on the international stage here this year. So we continue to roll what should be Canada versus Czechia here coming up shortly for the second period. It's been a fun hockey game thus far. You know, Czechia's come up with an effort that really just kind of put some questions in our mind as to how this game will ultimately play out. But, you know, not a bad effort in terms of what Czechia has done. It's made it interesting almost in a really good way here as we continue to wait to see this one get back underway. Sorry, just catching up on the old social medias here, trying to figure out what's going on across social media land, as looks like old Dolynny TV is having himself a half decent day. So we have had ourselves so far, you know, a fun game, right? And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's been a fun game so far, and for Canada and Czechia, what you want to see now is a fun conclusion, right? That's I think the biggest part of it. Just wind down and get the job done in a fun, positive manner, which, you know, both teams are left satisfied with the result. Not that anybody will be happy to go to the bronze medal game out of this game, but you know what I mean? It should be a fun finish where you can look back and say that was one heck of a game, similar to what Sweden and Finland will be able to do after tonight's matchup here that ended up getting Sweden to the gold medal game, and ultimately as well getting them a situation where just narrowly squeaking out that victory over top of Finland. So that's where we continue on the stream here. They're showing off the highlights with 6 minutes to go in that game for Sweden and Finland, where Finland's able to tap one off the pads back of the net against the Swedish goaltender and get it going. That was a huge goal right there, and obviously now it remains to be seen how this one shakes out here for Canada and Czechia, as ultimately the breakaways were plenty for Sweden in overtime. And if we see that many breakaways for Canada and they do not ice it in overtime, if this game goes to overtime, then I mean, fair enough, Canada deserves to lose at that point given the talent we have coming down on the Czech goaltender Orszalek, and given how his tournament's gone for the majority of it so far. So hopefully for Canada, you know, that's not the case. We just get the job done here in the second and third period. You know, grab a goal each period, win, you know, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, something like that, and roll up to this final against Sweden, ready to take down the buzzsaw that is that Swedish team this year, man. Sweden has been absolutely dummying it, that is for sure. So we'll see how it goes. As offensive zone possession time, Czechia leading by almost a solid 50 seconds in this hockey game. And as well, Tej again celebrating that first goal of the game. That was a massive moment for Canada to get that goal. And the question is now, can Canada get another one here at the start of the second period to roll up what should be a heck of a hockey game as it carries on into the second period? We got one last commercial break here before things get rolling. We've just crossed the 2-hour mark on the stream, friends. If you haven't already left a like on the stream, we have a chance, I tell you, to hit 100 likes tonight. So would love for you to do that as we roll on here on the broadcast. And again, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, would love to have you do that tonight and of course Monday night. The last big chances of January to roll up a bunch of you to hit that subscribe button as we close in on 20,000, now at 19,029. A big night hitting that, well, 19,000 mark. So definitely would love to have you help me along to 20,000 here this evening. We are almost down to 970 remaining, just like that. And I appreciate y'all coming back and hanging out during these live streams. It's been a blast so far. I think we've had a ton of fun here covering Team Canada. I know we started off with Slovakia and Sweden, so we'll end with Sweden and Canada. That's kind of what I think the poeticness of it is. Every year I think I'm going to live stream more games than I will, but the tough go is it burns you out at the holidays when you're so busy, you got everything else going on, and then you try and sit down and keep up with a hockey game while also talking a mile a minute through it. So So it's a weird goal. Not that the job's really hard. It's just a completely different beast sometimes, especially at the holidays. So, and trying to keep up with the Oilers, not to mention. So we are rolling. We got the full game highlights on TSN available over here on YouTube now. So there you have it. Tyler Bertuzzi in other action has scored a hat trick for the Chicago Blackhawks. And let's see where we're at. As I think it looks like former Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt is expected to land at Kentucky. Big old NIL deal there. And yeah, what do we know about tonight's game? Well, Canada, Czechia, in an absolute battle, really tight battle here, in which you gotta, somebody's got to break this one open, or it is just going to stay exactly where it is so far through one period of play. As Adam, welcome back in. As we're getting into this second period, getting underway here shortly, and what should be a really fun finish to tonight's hockey game. Obviously for Canada, a result is needed, or again, I think if you lose to Czechia 3 years in a row, heads are again going to roll at the World Junior level arm of Hockey Canada. You just cannot continue to keep losing to Czechia year in, year out in the elimination rounds. That much is for sure. As we go here and see that, well, we're up. Y'all have stuck around for a long time. Hung around for 200 hours already on the live stream. We just crossed 2 hours on the stream here tonight. And Mateo, who do we think will win? Again, Biasy says, I'm hoping Canada wins. Tisha Ginlin with his 4th of the tournament on the powerful play from Misa and Luchenko. A big-time goal there for Canada. And then obviously Czechia, with 3-ish minutes to go in that first period, was able to tie it up and push us to 1-1 going into the second period of play. And it's just some, sloppy plays inside the defensive zone from Canada. That's what I told you right off the hop of the stream, that if Canada can't get the puck out against Czechia, it is going to be nightmare fuel start finish. And that's kind of been the case so far here in this game for Canada, really struggling in the D zone to maintain possession of pucks or get pucks out against a Czech team that's very good at sniffing a loose puck and hunting down loose pucks inside your own zone. As Kieran, the goal scorer for Czechia, that has leveled up this game to be where it is right now. A 1-1 game with Luchenko in the box for the next 17 seconds, matching the number on his jersey just like that. And the face-off at center ice as Canada will try and bring this one to a killed penalty, as pushing it off the opposing number 17, Sikora, 4. Czechia will get it down in the far side corner, and then Canada, just a quick stick, able to get fired all the way down, and that will do it for the Czech power play. We are already 17 seconds into this second period of play across the line. CR fires into the near side corner. Canada, a much better job there, kind of preventing him from getting to the corner, and great support there by Danford, as Canada almost looked like they turned over that puck, but amazingly they didn't. And then Luchenko, a chance on net where he almost found a way around Orshiluk. Both teams kind of getting some weird puck bounces here to start this period of play. Canada, though, the first real opportunity inside the offensive zone. A flub shot there by Danford will be rolled up by Sikora. He'll lift up to the blue line, and now Canada, the ones turning over pucks in the offensive zone here, trying to get things going, as it'll be picked up by Czechia, though, and knocked back to Danford at the Canadian blue line in front of the circles. Worked there, and it'll be across the line by Tisha Ginla. He couldn't get it around cleanly. It'll be Danford again with a little bit of help there. I think Danford was going for a line change, albeit. And it'll be worked now by the Czechs back out into the neutral zone and flipped into the Canadian end. A dangerous moment here for Perek in the near side corner. It'll be fired there to the far side boards. And how about this? A battle there for it. Tisha Ginla able to come up with it, and skating up the middle of the ice is Perek. He kind of gave up skating on it, though, and with 18:28 to go here in this second period of play, I think we're going to have an offside call at the Czech blue line. 1-1. The score remains here between Canada and Czechia. And Juracek just about lost the handle, but Luchenko just not able to swim around him just enough, as that puck, well, just squeaks off his stick and goes wide of the net just enough to make the difference on that play. 11-6. The shots on goal for Czechia. Jet Luchenko's family is there at the World Juniors another year in a row. as this puck goes around to the far side, firing back in to the Czech zone is Canada. Orszaluk out to play the puck. He'll lift off the glass. Hayes will be the first one to it for Canada. Hayes looks back to the far side blue line. The shot through, blocked in front by Czechia, loading up through the left wing in the neutral zone, cutting to the middle. Nice play there by Politin. It'll be cut there, and McKenna will load up Hayes now for a walk of his own through the neutral zone, down the left wing into the Czech zone. It'll be poked aside there for Coots. Coots loads up McKenzie at the far side blue line as Hayes will look to the middle of the ice as I think Martin's down injured here, as Martin's not on this shift, and we saw him shook up earlier on a hit shot towards the net. Bobbles through everybody. They'll come to the near side boards. Czechia will clear out into the neutral zone. McKenzie gathers up for Canada inside his own zone. Loading up now across the line. Reshny denied. Canada likely offside on the play nonetheless. And this will be Czechia getting up into the Canadian zone. Canada able to turn back rather sharply, but it's Czechia that off the boards found a way to get the shot towards the net. And Canada not too happy that Titlebek was standing in front of the net. And with 17-16 to go, we'll have a face-off to the right of Jack Ivankovic, as this game continues to be a tightly contested affair between Canada and Czechia here this evening. Both teams not really giving up much time or space, and right now 11-6 the shots for Czechia, albeit Canada a little bit better of the possession here to start the second period. This one back off the draw by Czechia, rolling around to the far side boards. It'll be Canada poking that one. Denoyer trying to come away with the puck. Luchenko turning it over to Czechia. Loading up now, the shot through, blocked there, knocking down the Czech player. And Canada trying to clear Reshny, taken down. Denoyer trying to support Reshny. It'll be off the wall. And Titlebek with the puck will roll back down behind the net. Czechia first ones to it again, as all of a sudden they get rolling here in the Canadian zone. Oh boy, here we go. Czechia trying to turn the scales once more with 16:40 to go here in the second period play across the far side blue line. Czechia is able to chime it down into that far side corner, and it'll be Danford on the clock, getting it back to the blue line and turning it over. Shot through traffic. Rebound in front. Oh my goodness. That puck just goes wide, and Ivankovic was able to save the initial one. The queued up one-timer for Czechia in front of the net. The shot from the slot. Czechia scores, and Titlebek, who had himself a shift and a half there, is able to find the back of the net for Czechia. And with 16-16 to go, it's 2-1 Czechia over top of Canada here in the second. As that was a heck of a shift as Ivankovic lost his stick. Novotny back there, a fan one-timer, and then the puck right into the middle of the ice there as Ivankovic staring down Titlebek. Could not make the save. And I think maybe that went off the skate of a Canadian defender in front. Am I correct on that? As no, it was just up over top of the stick of Aitchison nonetheless into the back of the net as Czechia takes the 2-1 lead just like that. So, will this one turn back Canada's way? Face off at center ice is pushed back into the Czech zone. Battling for that puck is Reed. It'll be along the wall, and Czechia is going to be able to get a 3-on-1 going back the other way. Canada, a little bit of a collapse there towards the net. A good recovery. It'll be fired out by Canada back the length of the ice. Down. Will that be icing? Yes, it will. Another flutter of the lights leaves me concerned, as that will be an icing call against Canada, but just a tough turn of events there, as Canada cannot believe with Ivankovic without his stick. Maybe a little bit of a problem there positioning without his stick, and he's beat on the glove side. And again, a tough go for Canada as they are down 2-1 here in this second period of play. 12-6. That's shots for Czechia. So Canada can get the next 6 straight shots. I tell you, there might be an opportunity to make this a 2-2 game, just based on the last time the shots on goal were tied at 6. That's when Czechia tied the game. So here's a shot towards the net off the draw by Czechia, loading up over top of Ivankovic. 15:36 to go here in this second period to play. The pass to the middle of the ice, cut off there by Canada as Czechia is just firing from all spots on the ice, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Ivan Kovic after a wild shot goes up and out of play with 15:28 to go in this second period of play as Canada. I mean, the problem is for them all around the ice, the puck management quality has not been good, specifically in their defensive zone in that first period and a little bit here in this second period. But you just need to, take care of business in all three facets of the ice. And for Canada, obviously, Czechia is playing you tough, and you have to find a way to play a little bit tougher than you're being allowed to play so far. As this one to the far side boards, back to the blue line, the shot through traffic, back picked up by Galvis, the shot snared through traffic by Ivan Kovic. And it just seems anytime there's a loose puck in the defensive zone for Canada, the first ones to it are Czechia, and they have been making Canada play by getting shot after shot on net. Now up to 13 in the game so far. 15:20 to go here in this second period to play. 12-6, 13-6 now the shots for Czechia. As this one back by Canada. Aitchison will flip it out into the neutral. It'll land just past the Czech blue line, allowing them to pick up. Galvis will roll it along the boards. Picking it up now in the defensive zone is Aitchison. He'll get it over near side for Danford. Turnover again to Sikora. Sikora wheeling and dealing, firing the shot. Big block there by Aitchison, who's stung by that one. He is a hurting unit. And this will be batted off the wall there. Picking it up now, Sikora trying to free this one up for Canada. For Czechia. Against Misa of Canada is taking over as Nestrasil. It'll be Sikora that ultimately comes away with the puck. He'll work it to the middle of the ice. Canada skates into that puck, and now an opportunity in the neutral zone to spring Misa. Martone just could not come up with that puck, and Sikora bit an edge. Went down as this one to the far side. Picking it up now through the middle. Tipping in is Czechia into the Canadian zone. Verhoff feeling a little pressure to the near side. Canada out quickly as here's McKenna out for Martone. It'll be wrapped down along the near side boards to the goaltender Orshuluk along the end wall. Martone trying to come up with that puck again, out-battled. And at some point, Canada has to start just imposing their will on the Czechs. And so far that has not happened as Michael Hage out in the neutral zone. I desperately need to go grab something to eat here as I got the little nervous jitters here, and a little bit of food would calm the stomach. As Carroll's behind the net, loading up. That is Iginla. Verhoff, near side corner. Verhoff will load up into the neutral zone, and that puck dribbles all the way down to Orshuluk, who will just play off into the far side corner. That allows Iginla to outskate the Czech defenseman. The shot from distance hits somebody in front. Going down in front is Martone. Iginla skating into the corner near side, right wing of the Czech zone. He'll spin off the Czech one more time to the far side dot. He was trying to pass that puck, but it's blocked in front. And 13:20 to go here in this second period of play, as this one will work along the wall to the end for Ivan Kovic, as he saw it come free in the middle, and it'll be played to the neutral zone all the way back down off a bounce to Juracek inside the Czech end. And this puck will roll around to the near side one more time. We have gone a little bit of a while without a whistle here. As off the end wall, Canadian zone, Carroll's end we go with nothing yet really being done here in this, second period for Canada, as this one's flipped out into the neutral again. Picking it up rather cleanly is Juracek, loading up his countrymen across the line. Here's an opportunity from the far side, shot towards the net. Never got there from the near side dot for Czechia. Now Canada again trying to get out of the zone. They'll get through into the middle across the blue line of Czechia. Shot towards the net, steered aside by Orshuluk. And, Brunik thought about going to play that puck. He decided to peel back on it, and it'll be fired back into the Canadian zone as 12:18 to go here in this second period of play. We continue to wind down time. Brunik will load up to the near side boards. It'll be rolled around inside the Czech zone. A big collision there for Canada as they continue to mull around the Czech zone and really not be able to do much with it, unfortunately, as this one's picked up to the blue line. Prek over to the far side. Reed, the shot through traffic, will go up off somebody behind the net. Canada now starting to scramble around the Czech zone and turn up the intensity. Shot drifted into the near side corner by Canada just on purpose. And this will load up Czechia as Sikora will backhand towards the end wall, and well, that will go for a stoppage and play here with 2-1. The score for Czechia. As Christine asking if I watched Sweden versus Finland, I guess I watched all that I had to, which was the shootout. But I kind of had a busy day going on, kind of getting prepped up for the new work year starting tomorrow, and of course all the home stuff that goes along with the new year as well. Left that until the last day of the weekend, as you typically do. So no, I didn't catch the full game. 11:38 to go here in this second period, as this will be fired off the end wall around the boards and to Danford by Czechia. As Canada gets the turnover, the shot drifted in by Misa, and Aginla fires one, and now Martone's going to be hauled down. Orshulak's got the puck underneath him, and I didn't know where that puck was. I thought maybe again it was out of play. I didn't think there was an opportunity, but it looks like Misa Martone might have taken the worst of the contact in front. So I'm not sure where he was on that play. He came in last second, and then it was the Czech player that just hauled him down by the neck, firing on all cylinders, kind of angry that he was at the front of the net, poking away at Orshulak. Again, friends, thanks for being here today. Appreciate you hanging out. If you are new to the channel, what I'll tell you right now is consider hitting that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard as a regular subscriber on the channel, talking hockey with me every day. Oilers is the main focus. There's a little bit of baseball on the channel as well, so that could be part of it as well here. But would love to just have you hang out and chat along on the live streams, and of course lots of Olympic hockey coming up. Hopefully Team Canada's games are at a reasonable time to be able to live stream. Kind of be tough to live stream during the day or the very early morning hours, so see how it pans out here as we are rolling this game. Canada's Canada's kind of just got to press a lot harder than they have in this game. I mean, full credit to the Czechs so far, keeping them to the outside and doing what they've done, but at some point Canada's just got to start pressing here and getting the job done against this Czech side. So we'll see how that ultimately pans out for Canada against Czechia, but right now things are kind of rolling where they're rolling. There's old Gillis TV rolling up now, 248 views on that short. You like to see that, as Orshulak made that save. It was underneath some loose, and that's when Martone came in, and Galvis just absolutely flattened Porter Martone. That much is for sure. It's just a big, grab of the back of the neck and hauled him down. 11:26 to go here in this second period to play, so we got plenty of time for things to keep rocking and rolling here. As this has been where it's at. As you know, it's been kind of just a great battle so far for Czechia. They have been handing it to Canada so far in all three zones, and Martone just looking around, shaking up on that play a little bit. Head went pretty hard into the ice, it looks like, on a couple of replays. As we'll have Czechia. Are they going to take a penalty? No, they aren't. So we'll have a 5-on-5 situation to the right of Orshulak, with Reshny taking the draw alongside Denoye, and of course Luchenko, as we still are without, that guy, Brady Martin, who threw a hit earlier in the game and has since, I don't think, played a shift. As this one will be fired back in by Canada, down into that far side corner, man with the puck. It'll be wrapped around to the near side boards. Picking it up now is Reed. Reed loading up for Denoye. Denoye on net. He clubbed that puck wide. A prime shooting location that he couldn't get on net from there. Denoye loads up again. A nice stick check there. Czechia forces him into the corner, bouncing to the blue line. Perek able to corral. This puck will roll around the high point. It'll be fired back down by Canada. Another play here for Denoye, who will look to the middle of the ice. That'll pop off of the goaltender Orshulak to Cameron Reed at the blue line for Coots. Coots fires. Perek takes over. Off the block, Perek will look back to make the play and instead get swallowed up by Czechia here. And loading up now is Michael Hage, a Czech player down in a heap as Hage towards the net off the paddle of Orshulak. And then I believe that is Perek getting tangled up there with a Czech player. And there is definitely a chip in the air here in Canada, being a little too perfect, trying to get their shots on net. That much is for sure, Quaddy, as it's been a little bit of a tempers flaring kind of situation here in this. The second period, Perek taking down the man out in the neutral zone. And now Canada's got to desperately get things going in this late stage second half of this second period. 19 seconds to go until we hit the midway point of the period. But Canada, at danger of slipping a little bit here if the motions start running high and penalties start getting doled out. So to my surprise, the referees have not been doling out penalties for all the shenanigans after and between the whistles here in this hockey game. So this one, a shot right off the draw by Canada. Save made by Orszaluk, and then Brunik fires one just wide of the net. McKenna back to the blue line, shot from distance. Save made by Orszaluk again as Canada pounds the puck 3 times towards the net. They heard you there, as this one will be worked back off the end wall. Picking up for Canada is Sam O'Reilly. He'll gun up through the middle and allow Coots out into the neutral zone. McKenna turned back right there, and it'll be worked by Czechia across the Canadian line. Brunik fires back into the neutral. 9:50 to go here in this second period. Cutting it off was Michael Hage, almost turning it over for Canada. Instead, right back onto the tape of a Czech player, fired back into the Canadian zone. Here's Brunik with the puck in behind his own net. 12-6. The shots on goal for Czechia. I don't think they've updated this one here. So this one to the far side, picking it up. Shot fired in by Canada. It'll be covered by Orszaluk off the end wall bounce. And with 9:22 to go, we'll have a stoppage in play. With the shots, what are they? Officially on the website, still 12-6. I don't know how that is, but it is where it is. Basically both teams here, Grace, in this second period have kind of been getting away with a lot. There's been a lot of situations where both players should be going off the ice at the IIHF rule level, but so far the refs have kept it 5-on-5, and I think weirdly at the international level they're letting the boys on the ice figure it out, which just doesn't seem to make sense, but it is kind of how it's going out there right now. As this one's worked back in the neutral zone. Carroll's with the puck rolling in behind the net. Carroll's will go to the far side. Misa picks it up for Canada on the turn back by Czechia. Verhoff able to scoop it up to Canada, and here's a 2-on-1 for Canada. Misa again, the shot on net, and Orszaluk swallows it up there. As man, what a shot right there for Ginla. He had the 2-on-1 with Misa backdoor, but decided to shoot and could not find the back of the net himself. Tough go, but hey, what are you going to do? It's been a big time game for Czechia, and again, Orszaluk a big reason for it, as Canada now officially credited with 7 shots on net, only 1 past Orszaluk so far. Again, friends, stay tuned here on the channel. I want you to hit that subscribe button simply because, well, we got the Oilers the rest of the month, and then we got the Olympics next month, and we continue the Oilers coverage in February as well, and the Blue Jays and the World Baseball Classic coming up here soon as well. We're going to pretty much get all into everything live streaming sports here as 2026 gets going. It's going to be a big year on the channel. I can feel it. We're closing in on 20,000 subscribers here. As we'll see how it pans out, but be glad to have you hit that subscribe button here tonight as well. And if you haven't already left that like button on the stream, make sure to do that as well, as we're rolling into the late stages now of this second period, the back half. It is a heck of a hockey game so far between Czechia and Canada thus far. It's been a ton of fun. Both teams really not giving it an inch out there. Really the first 2-on-1 I think we've seen all game for Canada here, and it was Orszaluk denying Ginla. Obviously, Czechia's gotten the better so far this game, up 2-1 midway through, but again, I don't know how much this one's going to close out. And yes, no, Art, it is pure water. That is the thing. Unfortunately, the old water, she goes down quick when you're trying to talk a mile a minute, and I'm still tripping over my own tongue. As Sam O'Reilly in the face-off dot here for Canada. We turn back off the end of the net, back to the far side. Both teams battling here. It'll be fired back down off the end wall by Canada, as Canada was able to get the keep, and a shot right there from the slot by Perek. Had Orszaluk in a shrug position, but just could not get to the back of the net. As 8.5 minutes now to go in this second period of play. Czechia picks it up for a 2-on-1 of their own. Sikora right in on net. backhand flip into the shoulder of Ivan Kovic, and then Sikora just takes contact and decides to pile in to Ivan Kovic, and now here's Baudouin scrapping a bit with the check at the side of the net, and there's everybody piled in the net here, and everybody on the ice wants a piece of everybody, as oh boy, as they're still trying to tug Sikora off Ivan Kovic, and Sikora refuses to leave Ivan Kovic alone here, and Desnoyers is trying to escort him out, as the linesmen are like, nobody, that's our job. But oh boy, this one's getting a little hotly contested here, and that Sikora guy, he was the primary focus for Canada last year against Czechia in the quarterfinals. And Sikora is going to be ushered to the box here. He's arguing the call. Of course, he's the guy that sold the 5-minute major against Czechia, or against Canada last year, with the, oh, I'm so injured, rolling around on the ice like he'd been shot. And then all of a sudden, tongue out, smiling and laughing that he drew the 5-minute major over the refs. So that's kind of where it's at. But ultimately, I mean, you know, end of the day, it was another chance for Czechia. And like, I mean, look at how easy Sikora goes into the net. Yeah, sure, there's contact there, but to fall forward on the goaltender, that's the easiest play in hockey right there. Oh, I'm just going to take that contact and I'm just going to bulldoze your goalie instead, as Ivan Kovic has been absolutely bowled over a few times in this game. And, well, we will go to commercial break here, friends, as, yeah, it's kind of just interesting to keep seeing this. These two teams do not like each other. We know that for sure. And the penalty minutes continue to wind up here for both teams, as I think that's the second minor for Czechia of the game. And man, ooh, off the shoulder of Ursuluk, just barely, with the raised shoulder shrug, as Peter Sikora will go to the box for slashing. So that's correct, quiet. A little bit of a slash on the goalie's head. Again, I don't know what officially the penalty should be for, but this one off the end wall, and Mr. Pakuda, welcome aboard. Going for Czechia, I see, but hey, that's all good. As this one off the wall for Canada inside the offensive zone. Power play time. Hayes down over now for Reshny in front, as this will be back to the blue line, as Hayes will skate around the defender. The shot off the post, the rebound for Canada, scramble in the crease. And Canada, I don't know what they're ushering there. Reshny says, I think that puck went in or something. He's talking with one of the officials, or a penalty upcoming. But the puck went out of play nonetheless. And do we have a power play here for Canada that's going to go to a 2-man advantage? Yes, we do. Did Czechia throw that puck out of play themselves? Yeah, so Czechia threw that puck out of play, delay of game. So that's what it was, as the shot there off the post for Canada, and then a secondary opportunity, and Ursuluk makes the save, but Politin fires it up and out of play immediately. As Ursuluk, I mean, just what a save there. Canada basically fired it right into him, but still an incredible save nonetheless. And another post for Canada. That's 2 in this game. That would have this a much different tally if it were to have hit the twine. Canada, though, a 2-man advantage, as Politin fires it up and out of play into the crowd. And with that, we have an opportunity here for Canada to find the back of the net and even the game 5-on-3. 8:05 to go in this second period of play. Time to sit up and get going. It's the opportunity now. McKenzie over the shot. Perek. The shot. Rebound in front. As that puck scrambled around the crease, picking it up far side, is McKenna out of the zone. Sorry, I didn't even follow that play fast enough. As McKenna will load up into the zone. He'll skate 1v3 back to the blue line now for Perek. Perek to the far side. Hayes over to McKenna. McKenna with the shot from Perek in on net. And we have the opportunity here now for Reshny to be cleared out of the net, as Reshny was looking like, you're going to push contact in the crease. Maybe I'll just fall right on top of your goaltender himself. As 7:39 to go, it was Perek denied on the one-timer from the blue line. As man, oh man, what a save by Ursuluk, and then Canada just could not find the puck in front. As Carlo, welcome aboard as well. As, man, Canada so close to getting the job done there. 1:13 to go. The scramble off the face-off back to the blue line. Perek walking down. Here's McKenna. Near side, McKenna's got Ursuluk scrambling. Shot, rebound in traffic. Hayes off to Hayes again over to Perek. Perek through traffic. Puck's in the net. Canada ties the game at 2-0. Zane Perek celebrating. I guess he bought the bounce in front. As the Team Canada 5-on-3 levels the game. Maybe in front of his Cole Reshny, I don't know. But all kinds of a scramble there. And Team Canada through traffic able to find the back of the net. Orshuluk was absolutely running around in the crease. And Sam O'Reilly out there alongside that top power play unit. And Perek fires it on net. And yes, indeed, it might have bit off Reshny. But Perek fired it through, and maybe that's why it hit Reshny between the legs and dribbled past Orshuluk. Other than that, maybe Orshuluk would have had the save himself. My goodness, we are back alive in the hockey game. Team Canada tied at 2 apiece with Czechia, and this one, just like that Sweden-Finland game earlier, might just be an absolute dandy. Face off at center ice, 7:22 to go. Picked up Perek over to the far side. Canada's still got a $1.16 to go on the power play. Again, they've scored power play goals so far in this game. The 5-on-5 might be what it comes down to, as Czechia riding into this puck in the near side. As along the walls, it'll be fired to the far side. Misa picks it up for Canada. Loading up now again along the far side wall. He'll roll around to Martone. That top power play unit continues to be effective as heck. Here's Luchenko over to the far side, picking it up. Now looking towards the middle of the ice. Now looking back to the blue line. Zane Perek for Jet Luchenko. Luchenko scrolling. It'll be Perek over now for Misa, trying to cue ball that one into the center ice area in front of Orshuluk. The one-timer from Perek misses wildly. Bounces around behind the net a few times. Here's Iginla with the puck. Canada, all the pressure here. Shots are now 13-10. It's Perek over near side for Misa. Over to Perek in front. The tip play on Martone. Couldn't jam it home. It goes in behind the net, and it looks like Czechia will fail to clear this puck. Canada continues the pressure with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Martone dribbles this one in front. Knocked down at the blue line. It's kept alive by Hage. Backhand over to Perek from Martone. Misses. Perek back to the blue line for McKenzie. The shot through traffic. Denied there by the block of a Czech player in front. And they'll be chipped out into the neutral with 5:56 to go here in this second period of play. Pucks rolled along the boards out into the neutral zone. McKenzie picking it up for Canada. Up through the middle. Now Canada to the near side. Hage bounces it onto the tape of McKenna down the down the right wing. Couldn't make the move to the left, and he was cut off there as it'll be picked up by McKenzie once more. Here's McKenna trying to spin it in front. Loose stick is causing chaos inside the Czech zone. Galvis with the puck for Czechia. Able to roll around and now settle it down with 3 Canadians chasing him, and barely any support from his team as this one's worked back to the blue line. Brunick sees it across the line. Canada will try and dribble this one down towards Reshny. That didn't work out, and here comes Polotin for Czechia. Far side. Czechia taken down. A big-time block by Canada as they flipped up on that puck. Couldn't shoot it immediately, and here now across the line. Czechia wildly themselves offside with 5:03 to go here in this second period of play. What a bounce for Zane Perek, Cole Reshny, and Team Canada to get the goal in the back of the net. They're crediting it to Perek right now, but I think it'll be Hage, Perek to Reshny back of the net, and that's how that game got tied 2 apiece. Tija Ginla with the earlier goal for Team Canada. Friends, welcome aboard. Glad to have you along for the ride here tonight on Dolynny TV. The Canadian squad just picked it up big time on that tying goal on the power play. That is absolutely massive. Bring us back to life. Why don't you, Team Canada? As friends, again tonight, I'll tell you, if you've been hanging out here on the live stream so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard for more Oilers stuff, for Blue Jays stuff, for Team Canada at the Olympics. Some Olympic hockey, why not? Let's have a good time. But as it currently stands, Czechia, Canada, semifinal of the World Juniors, tied 2 apiece right now, and a heck of a hockey game it's been thus far. It's been an absolute dandy between these two teams, and we'll see if that continues to be the case here tonight as things continue to get closer to a conclusion. Canada, Czechia, a period and 5 minutes remaining before we have to either decide, are we going to extra time or are we going to finish this thing in regulation? That is the question we got to ask here tonight as Canada and Czechia continue to battle in this evening's hockey game. Cole Reshny, I believe, now officially credited with goal. At least one would have to assume, based on him having the discussion with his teammates and the head coach there for Czechia not too all impressed with things here as Reshny will get things going. Is outside the Canadian blue line. I'm like, what's that twinkle over there? That's the cat's eye over on the stairs. Is this one off the draw? Canada will force it back into the Czech zone. And I mean, since this power play, Canada's got the jump back in their step. Coots trying to force that one in the middle. Couldn't do it. Here's Novotny able to get it over to the far side for Czechia. Czechia skating offside once again with 4:45 to go in this second period to play. 13-10. The shots on goal for Canada. And Orszaluk again off of Reshny, or else Orszaluk probably makes that save no problem. And then to the back of the net it goes as Perek absolutely fired up to have scored that goal for Canada. And now we will have an opportunity for the Canadian squad here to try and close this period, possibly with a lead, if not in the exact same place. Another goal scored and another tied hockey game going into the third period. Wouldn't surprise me to see 3-3 at the end of regulation, quite honestly, as the face-off outside of the Czech bench here on the broadcast, as this one worked there by Carroll's off the wall. Czechia still with the puck. Carroll's is doing all the work, trying to keep the man off the puck, and this one will be loaded up now for Iginla, trying to get out of the zone. Picking it up is Porter Martone. Again, the collisions, the bumps, and the interference continues here throughout this game without anything really truly heavily being called so far, as this one's worked back into the Canadian zone. Verhoff's going to tap up off glass and out in the neutral just barely with the help of Martone. Skating it back the other way is Iginla with Carroll's the free man, far side. Play to the front. Michael Misa couldn't jam it home on Orszaluk, who just threw the whole body at the puck to stop it. And here's Misa with the puck down low to Iginla. Back high, the puck came for Perek. He had it bounce off his stick and out in the neutral zone. Perek over to the far side. Czechia will say enough of that and fire it back into Canadian territory with 3:48 to go. Here in this second period of play, out from behind the net. Reed to the far side. Loading up through the neutral zone. Desnoyers gets it over cleanly for Baudouin. Baudouin against Leanne Wall. Bounces it there. Hoping to get there is O'Reilly. He does. Now Baudouin with the puck. It'll be Czechia. A couple quick bounces and getting this out into the neutral zone. Again, the quick update is it is Brady Martin who is injured for Team Canada. The shot wildly from the blue line here for Czechia as Desnoyers picks it up near side boards. Perek with the puck, 3:14 to go here in this second period. Worked back into Czech zone, as skating quickly to it was Sam O'Reilly. O'Reilly was about to go for a line change maybe, and instead chose to keep it going. His line mate's still out there as he pursued that puck, and Czechia able to work back with 3 minutes to go here in this second period of play. Danford along the end wall will tap it to the near side for Baudouin. Baudouin will backhand out into the neutral zone, tapping it there. Far side rush as Reshny trying to get on that puck. Couldn't do it against the Czech side. Now here's Czechia again. A mile offside. They'll play to the near side. The shot towards the net goes to the far side corner. Sets up possession inside the Canadian zone for Czechia. A quick play by Danford. Scoops it along. A turnover on the near side wall for Galvis. Galvis will fire back down behind the net. Tap in front. That won't work out. Baudouin takes a puck off the helmet. Czechia with possession inside the Canadian end. Back at the high point. The shot through traffic. Blocked there by Baudouin, who's been battered by pucks here in this period. To the far side, Czechia able to chip back into the Canadian end. Here's Danford. He'll spin off the check and just leave it there for Aitchison. Aitchison gets it to the blue line and out. And here's Hayes trying to bust away for a breakaway. Hayes on the breakaway to the backhand. Denied by Orszaluk. And we have a penalty shot upcoming for Michael Hayes with 1:56 to go here in this second period of play. 2-2 Canada, Czechia. And now a big time moment here. This is one of those, hey, remember that moment? That's why Canada won or didn't win moments here at the World Juniors, as Hayes on the breakaway gets a stick into the hands from the defenseman for Czechia, right up a slash on the wrist. And just could not corral that puck because of it. So Canada, a penalty shot opportunity involved for Hayes there. Is a little bit nervous. As here's Hayes coming down the left, down the middle, backhand, forehand, over top of Orszaluk, tripped up. And now they're going to talk about, the officials are going to talk this over. Hayes got tripped by Orszaluk on the play, and the officials are not sure what to even do here, I don't think, as that is as wild of a play as you possibly can have. As Orszaluk just kind of dives out at, well, it's a tripping call on the feet. I guess, really, I don't know. As Orszaluk, as Hayes just about tapped that puck in, trips him up. As Hayes will get a reshot on Orszaluk, I can say this is an absolute first in my hockey career, watching a reshot on a penalty shot. This game, just as good as Sweden-Finland, let me tell you, so far through almost 2 periods. Here's Hayes again down the left-hand side. Is he going to go to the same move? Backhand, forehand. He goes again, and this time he's denied. And Orszaluk with the big fist pump saying, I got you this time. And Hayes, I don't know why he'd go back to the same play, but that was wild. As towards, and Hayes denied by Orszaluk, who did pretty much the exact same thing again, just narrowly avoided the feet this time. But interesting play, that's for sure. So we have ourselves a tied hockey game, 2-2, with less than 2 to remain in this second period. 16-16, the shots on goal. And Michael Hayes, again, like I said, this was a win-lose-it moment kind of deal that we'll look back on for Team Canada. Did not necessarily win it in the moment here for Canada against Orszaluk. So the Canadian bench not having the conversation with the referee. In fact, it's the Czech bench trying to discuss things one more time. Czechia enjoying things in the stands, having themselves a good time. Again, what I'll do right now, if friends, you've been hanging out for the last few minutes and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, would love for you to do that. We're closing in on 20,000 subscribers officially, 975 away from 20,000. Face off to the right of Orszaluk after the failed penalty shot attempt. It'll be cleared out by Czechia into the neutral zone. Canada swipes at that puck. It bounced around the neutral zone, and then belted there is Baudouin, who has taken a lot of Essen abuse, if you know where I'm going, here in this period so far. Pucks off the head, blocks, bounces, hits, whatever, as Czechia has it inside their own zone. $1:36 to go here in this second period of play along the near side wall. Canada will float it back to the blue line. Czechia fires it back down to the far side boards around the end wall. And this will be Czechia in the far side corner now. A nice play by Aitchison to get this over to Danford. It eludes him. Denoyer with the puck, and it'll be worked back into the Czech zone with 1:14 for a face-off, coming back in the Canadian zone due to an icing call there. So, friends, as well, if you haven't already hit the like button as well, we're at 58. The last live stream was 85 all told in the semifinals. So, love for you to hit the like button as well if you haven't done that yet. And we continue to roll along here on the broadcast tonight. 2-2 Canada, Czechia here in this second period. This game, I feel, is destined for overtime. Let me tell you, this live stream is going to get crazy fun once we get to overtime, that's for sure. Face off down. Canada will clear out into the Czech zone. Another icing call here with 1:07 to go in this second period. Canada and Czechia engaged in one heck of a hockey game so far. And let me tell you, hopefully a winning result for Canada. That's really all that matters at the end of the night here. 1:07 to go in this second period play. 18-16 now the shots for Team Canada. So they've clawed back 12 straight against Czechia's 4. And we'll see how this goes. As the face-off down, the shot off the draw by Czechia. Save made, 3 seconds gone off the clock just like that. Czechia set play off the draw to get that face-off shot. And Ivan Kovic, who hasn't been tested here much in the last little bit, tested there, and a stand-tall save for Team Canada as he swallows up that opportunity off the draw from Curran back to Polliton, and the save made right there. So can Canada avoid face-off disaster this time? $1:04 to go here in this second period time. Winding down ever so slowly. If you can't tell, guy might need a bathroom break here. This one off the draw again. Polliton doesn't know if the draw is good. Face off. Shot fired there from the blue line instead this time by Czechia. Another shot towards the net. Ivan Kovic the save. This puck will be picked up and bounced off the wall into the neutral zone by Canada. Another turnover there, and another turnover right back onto the tape back to Czechia. 2-on-1 back to the right. Curran to the far side. The shot scores. Czechia makes it 3-2 just like that. And 42.8 seconds to go, Canada. That puck bouncing around the neutral zone like a pinball. You gotta at some point start settling down. And that's a big time goal for Czechia. They're celebrating like they just won the game. But again, why wouldn't you? That's a massive goal given avoiding the penalty shot goal against. And just again, I mean, McKenzie, just a mistake in the neutral zone. And then he gets taken out by the Czech player through the middle of the ice. And a one-timer beats Ivan Kovac, as that was a heck of a one-timer by Bennett, just inside off the post. It glances back of the net, and Team Canada, tough play there. I mean, you knew it was in trouble the first time it bobbled in the neutral zone, but about after time number 4 or 5, and it came back the other way 2-on-1. Life was on a balance there for Canada, and now they find themselves down 1 here. 42 seconds to go. Will a power play save them again? Can they find 5-on-5 offense against Czechia, who have been perfect with 5 skaters aside through almost 2 periods of play? The face-off at center ice, Curran and Politin get the goals. Bennett gets the goal, or gets the assist, sorry, and Bennett gets the goal for Czechia. This one picked up by Perek. Perek bounces it to the far side. Tijaginla fires to the blue line. Not much further. Helped in by Misa. 27 seconds to go here in this second period of play. Along the boards, it's Martone battling that one free for Misa. Back to the blue line for Perek. He'll fire off a body into the corner. Martone trying to get this one free. 15 seconds remaining here in this second period of play. Carrying back the other way is Czechia. Czechia towards the middle. Here's an opportunity into the net. Freeing the stick up was Perek, but keeping the man to the outside nonetheless, as Czechia, a wild shot directed to the front, will be stopped by the Canadian defense, and we will have a stoppage for the second intermission, friends. Canada finds themselves down 3-2 going into the second intermission in a game in which has been wildly entertaining, but a result still needed big time here in this third period upcoming for Team Canada. It started Tijaginla on the power play from Michael Misa and Jet Luchenko, Max Curran from Thomas Galvish, and of course Adam Bennett. The points there on that goal to tie it at 1 at the end of the first. Adam Titlevik and the Czech side take the 2-1 lead. Zane Perek on the power play from Michael Hayes and Sam O'Reilly get the job done. That should be Cole Reshny's goal, I believe, but we'll figure it out to make it 2-2. And then Adam Bennett scoring the goal there that makes it 3-2 going into the intermission. I'll be right back, friends. Again, reminder, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I know I'm talking to about 100 new people every minute, so definitely hit that subscribe button. I'll be right back. Question is, can Team Canada come back from down 3-2 and avoid humiliation at the hands of Czechia for a third year in a row in the elimination part of the tournament? That is what we will try and figure out here as things continue to roll on here at the 2026 World Juniors. It's the semifinals. Porter Martone gets the intermission interview. Friends, not a good turn of events for Team Canada, but hey, end of the day, just got to at the end of the day get the job done, and you still have a period of hockey to do of it what you will. So Team Canada, Czechia, heck of a hockey game so far. By the way, that Sweden-Finland game was 3-2 until the 6-minute mark of the third period, and when Finland decided to score a goal and push it to overtime. So, there's still some life yet for Team Canada here in this World Juniors before we get too panicky about things ending dramatically in a loss. So hopefully for Team Canada, they can find a way to overcome this tough break that is being down 3-2 at the intermission, and of course pull together and find a way to win this hockey game tonight for us. So that would be absolutely fantastic if they can get that job done. But again, remains to be seen, as Canada's got to come up with the effort. Nonetheless, we can talk about it all we want, but until Canada comes up with the effort, nothing is for sure. As, typical of the Oilers as well, Barbershop, that is true. As we are rolling in the intermission, and that puck bouncing around the neutral zone all game from Canada. It's just been a tough go. Bites them there. Again, if you're just tuning in, the goal scorers tonight on the power play, Tisha Ginla started things off for Team Canada. Michael Misa from Jet Luchenko. And then Max Curran drew the Czechs even close to the end of the period. 3:04 remaining in the first period. We were 1-1 going into what was the first intermission at that point. Adam Titlebek got the Czechs up to a 2-1 lead. Then Zane Perek was able to cut it back to 2-2 on the power play again. And then it was Adam Benek with 43 seconds remaining in that second period that makes it what it is now, a 3-2 lead for Czechia going into this third period of play. Stay tuned. What will happen, I think, is anybody's guess at this point, as Czechia has played a very solid game. There's nothing I can take away from Czechia's effort thus far. They have been absolutely phenomenal. Great opponent for Canada here. Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic here. So, Peter, welcome aboard as we get things rolling for what should be a quick second period intermission. I feel like I took some time. I might take a little bit of extra time and go grab a quick bite to eat here. I just want to make sure we get caught up with the shots on goal. 19-18 in favor of Czechia. Again, Canada 2 for 3 on the power play so far. Czechia 0 for 1. That's been really the difference as to why Canada is in this hockey game right now. And as well, what you have to keep in mind is Michael Hayes not once but twice on the same penalty shot denied by Orszaluk of Czechia. So a tough go there if you're Canada. You've got to come up with a result here in the third period to make up for what was a win it or lose it moment there really for the Canadian side with that Hayes penalty shot. And ultimately, if you don't end up winning this game, that's going to loom large in the fan base circles across Canada tonight. So stay tuned here, friends. I'm going to take another quick timeout. We're almost at the 3-hour mark of the live stream. Thanks for being aboard. All right. Team Canada, what do you have in store for us? That is the question here. Obviously, it's been a heck of a hockey game so far between Canada and Czechia, but now the question is, can Canada clutch up for the first time in 3 years against a squad that has beaten you 2 years in a row and has you on the ropes, down a goal going into the third period in Czechia? That is the question that Team Canada is going to have to answer for all of us fans here tonight in a game in which has been good, like I said. But again, the result, the only one that matters for the Canadian side tonight, is, of course, winning and going on to the gold medal game. Like I said, this one, though, as well, smells quite a bit of overtime here. So there is potential here for Canada this evening that this game's far from done, even once the third period is done. CS, welcome aboard, as things are going to get very interesting here as the game winds down. Canada and Czechia have been an absolute treat to watch so far. And again, if it comes down right to that thrilling conclusion of overtime, we're in for ourselves one heck of a treat. So what we know right now, obviously, as well as we're staying on the watch to see if Andrew Mangiapane of the Edmonton Oilers gets traded. It's kind of from an Edmonton Oilers fan perspective. That's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, so we'll see this. Let's see where this is. Yeah, so we're talking about some fans talking about Bryce Pickford being available to Team Canada and him not being there right now. That's a thing there as well. So, yeah, Team Canada, obviously, need to get in, get dirty, and get the job going here against Team Czechia. It's kind of, obviously it's winner take all. I know there's a gold medal game to play yet, but the problem is right now for Team Canada is there is not a lot of respect to be had if you lose a third year in a row in the elimination rounds to Czechia. So you got to come up with an effort here that proves this is a different script than the last 2 years out. And you got a period of play hockey to do it against Czechia, who so far in this game, hey, full credit to them. This is not anything necessarily that the Canadian squad is doing all too wrong. Czechia is playing a heck of a game, turning over pucks, getting in on the attack, and doing the job. So full credit to Czechia for their game so far and what they have done. Sorry, friends, the mustache hairs just turned up the wrong way there. We've got 715 votes on the poll. 85% of you going for Canada to go to the gold medal game. 15% to Czechia. Well, now if I ran that poll here now, would the results start to differ a little bit? I feel like they got it, because Czechia has Canada a bit on the ropes here going in to this third period to play. Liam Greentree has not been seen from, I think, since the first game against Czechia, the tournament. As he had I don't even remember what Liam Greentree did for Canada in the first game of the tournament, and if I'm being honest with you. And for the Canadian squad, now what you got to do is ultimately come up with the effort that wins the hockey game. You know, regulation win would be a lot less dramatic, I think, but it would be a lot less stressful for Canadian fans if we could find a way to win this one here in regulation and get the job done against a Czech squad who, like I said, has eliminated us 2 years in a row. They got me nervous, so we'll see how this works. But again, the recap of the goal scoring, if you're just tuning in: Tij Ginla, Max Curran for Czechia. Basically, after 1 period to play, it was 1 apiece. And then Adam Titlebek, Zane Perek, Adam Benek, 3-2 after 2 periods to play for Czechia. And things not looking exactly the prettiest going in for Canada. The puck management in all zones of the ice has not been great at all. But hopefully, they find a way to get the job done here against Czechia in this one. So we'll see how it goes. But ultimately, yeah, a crazy second period of hockey that the Canadians now need to dig out, dig deep, and dig up a result here tonight against Czechia. And that's not to say this game's also had a had a ton of fun to it with after whistle scrums, mid play scrums, whatever you want to say. It's been chaos between Czechia and Canada physically so far in this game. So hopefully that continues going into the third period. Power plays don't dictate how this game ends, and we go from there going into what is now the third period of play here upcoming in Team Canada. Like I said, last chance here to really prove they learned anything from the past 2 years against Czechia. Desperately, like I'm saying, needing a result here in this third period, or it's curtains really for the tournament. I know the bronze medal's on the line, but again, this Canadian team came to be the dream killers. So if you don't kill Czechia's dreams, whose dreams did you really kill at the end of the day? And certainly, I guess Slovakia's, but I think Slovakia wouldn't be expecting to win the gold medal anyway. So you need to kill Czechia's dream to kill Sweden's dream, and that's what this third period will prove for Team Canada. A game in which has been, like I'm saying, a ton of fun. And again, if you're tuning in from Czechia's side, full credit to you guys. It has been a fantastic game from Czechia. And you know what? Canada can have their flaws, but Czechia has earned every ounce of where they are at so far in this hockey game. So we'll see how it goes. Again, Canada only scored on one of the two 5-on-3 power play situations where it was, 5-on-4, then 5-on-3 they scored, and then ultimately the 5-on, or was it on the 5-on-4? Maybe it was on the 5-on-4. Either which way, you get where I'm going. I can't follow time in my head too well. The peanut-sized brain is what it is at the end of the day. So Team Canada needs to come up with the effort that finds the victory here tonight. It's 3-2 Czechia going in to the third period of play, and a game in which all marbles on the table. Again, the live streams for the World Juniors are done here and now tonight if Canada cannot find a way to win, at least for the Canadian side, because I won't be able to live stream the bronze medal game. But again, we will try and get some coverage of the gold medal game. We'll see if Matt's still interested in coming out and live streaming the gold medal game. If it ends up being Sweden versus Czechia, should still be a lively chat here on the channel, but definitely missing the Canadian contingent for that one, as everybody will probably tuck away the television sets after the bronze medal games. So we're closing in here. They've got us on extended commercial break here on TSN right now, and we're just waiting to get back to action for what needs to be a huge third period for Team Canada against the Czech side. Or like I said, it's basically curtains on the Canadian tournament here on the channel, and that would really, really suck given the fact that this has been a fun tournament and Canada kind of turned it around after that Czech game and Latvia game to be a real fun tournament so far. So stay tuned. I guess we'll see what happens together as we are about set for this third period to play, friends. Team Canada, Team Czechia, as we try and fire up what should be a thriller to finish out this year's tournament. Titlebek, Reshny, officially credited with the power play goal now from Zane Perek and Michael Hage, Adam Benek from Max Kieran and Tomasz Politin, the goal that made it 3-2 for Czechia. So 19-18 the shots on goal as Czechia leads this hockey game and the shot clock going into this third period of play. This all-important, all too important third period of play. Canada cannot blow this game. And obviously missing Brady Martin right now. Canada's hit the post a few times. They've missed 2 penalty shots on the same penalty shot. And Orsulak's been great when called upon for Czechia 5-on-5. So the question now is, can Canada find some 5-on-5 offense to hit the back of the net? They're showing all the highlights of Canada's misses so far in this hockey game, and there have been a ton so far this evening. So Canada, the question, can they do it here and now against Czechia? The face-off at center ice will start this third period as Michael Hage. No one will feel worse about losing this game than Michael Hage, having missed on the penalty shot not once but twice. Like I said, face-off at center ice between Canada and Czechia. It's Sikora versus Baudouin in the face-off dot. One back there by Danford. Danford across to the far side boards. Tipped in there by Canada as it's Orsulak out to play the puck. We're 9 seconds in to this, the third period of play. Czechia across their own blue line. They'll start up with gusto through the neutral zone. Canada slows them down. Tip bounces around a few times. O'Reilly over to Danford. Puck goes rolling through the neutral zone all the way onto Orsulak. by the fire out of the zone by Canada as Baudouin labels a hit there, and maybe Canada a little bit more aggressive with the body here in this third period. Sikora pushing to the outside of the Canadian zone right in front. The jam shot goes up over top of the net, dribbles off the back, and Canada will be able to get this one going as beautiful play by Czechia to force that one in front from the side of the net. Is here's a turn back by Galvis of Czechia. He'll get it back into the neutral zone. Starting away, Czechia 2-on-2 to the outside wing. The shot fired on the far side. Blockered away by Ivan Kovic. 19 minutes to go in the third period as we roll a minute straight out of the period starting. And we will have an offside at the Canadian blue line to blow down the whistle a minute and 6 seconds into the period. But Team Canada, you know what? This is going to be a tough go here if they cannot find a way to score this evening. Bennick, obviously, they're showing all his highlights of being denied, and then finally scoring his first of the tournament against Jack Ivankovic, as this one will be one off the draw by Gavin McKenna. McKenna dancing across to the near side into the corner. It's going to be played there by Czechia. Canada comes up with it at the blue line. Hayes, the shot through traffic, drifts wide of the net. Down behind the net, Reshny and Hayes and McKenna out there trying to keep this one alive. Hayes back to the point for McKenna. That one doesn't work through, and here's Czechia across to the far side. Nice play by McKenzie, and it looks like they've pushed Czechia offside once again at the Canadian blue line. 18.5 to go in this third period of play, and we'll see how this one goes as Tube going for next goal wins it. Well, the next goal for Czechia would certainly win it, I think, but next goal for Canada, all that does, unfortunately, is make it one heck of a hockey game here. 18:32 to go here in this third period. Not that you're not right. If Canada scores the next goal, there's a very good chance they win it as well. Just I'm not sitting pretty if we score the next goal and still have to play 3-3 the score. Is this one? Verhoff behind the net. Verhoff will go to the far side boards, bounce it out in the neutral zone. Go. The pass doesn't get through to Gavin McKenna. Now Czechia turning it back the other way. The shot fired off the end wall. Goes back to the high point for Hayes to get it over for McKenna, who stops up through traffic and drifts through three Czech players but can't get past the last two. And with 18:02 to go here in the third period of play, it'll be fired back in. Down to Ivan Kovic. 3-2 Czechia lead. Starting out from beyond his own net is Verhoff to the far side, picking it up in the neutral zone. Czechia there on the turnover by Canada. It'll bounce around, and here's Czechia again off the glove of a Canadian player, getting in now. Sikora far side wing into the corner, and Wall in the Canadian zone into that corner again. Czechia continues to just battle pucks loose as this one off the wall as Coots fires it back to the blue line. Here's a shot loading up for Juracek. He fires it through traffic. It's off the stick of Carroll's. He'll load up back to the near side blue line. He turns it over, and this will be fired back down along the wall. Verhoff's going to have to get out there and get moving as he'll tap it up into the middle of the ice. It'll be worked there by Juracek for Czechia. Back across the Canadian line. The shot, glove handled by Ivan Kovic and picked up quickly by Danford. Again, we continue to go an extended break without a whistle here, it feels like, as this one goes in behind on Juracek. Baudouin, the first one to it, as both teams are going to roll their most effective players here, as this one back down to Ivan Kovic, picking it up now, fired into the neutral zone by Aitchison. Aitchison gets it onto the tape, but Denoyer to the front of the net, and oh, Canada can't jam it home, and then the far side shot. Orshuluk's there to swallow it up, and Canada coming oh so close. A tip-tap back door just doesn't work out. And Gavin McKenna, what will he do in this game? Will Gavin McKenna have his Connor Bedard moment here at the World Juniors? The question is yet to be answered. Has an opportunity there, as I think that was Sam O'Reilly that just could not handle that puck across from the near side. And now Orshuluk will get this going inside his own zone. To the left, Orshuluk taking the face off. And here we go. Let's see how this goes. As this one off the draw, one back by Czechia, worked into the neutral zone, and here's Czechia one-on-one against the Canadian defense. In around Cameron Rees, shot towards the net. Big time save out of Jack Ivan Kovic with 16:32 to go here in this third period. That's a massive save. And Toast, welcome back. Drive, welcome in, and Patrick, welcome aboard, as well as Czechia continues to get their chances to make this game 4-2, and so far Jack Ivankovic has been able to stand tall and keep the puck out of the net. And the Canadians are going to need him to do that in force the rest of the way home and hopefully get a power play here, because Canada's got basically nothing 5-on-5 in terms of goal generation here in this game. A lot of posts, but nothing called back, nothing in the back of the net. And it remains 3-2 for Czechia here. 16:32 to go. The face-off to the left of Ivankovic. Looking now, the face-off down. It'll be won by Canada on a nice tap back to Perek by Reed. The puck through the middle, trying to find Hage. And it'll be eluded by Orszaluk. Back to the blue line it goes. It'll be worked out by Czechia. Bounced back in to the Czech zone, picking it up behind their own net. Back to the blue line one more time. The turnover doesn't come there at the point for Czechia, so Canada's got to restart from their own blue line. Cross the line rather quickly. Here's McKenna getting free in the middle of the ice. Front of the net. Reshny drives and scores for Canada. Reshny ties the game at 3. A huge goal there. An absolutely unbelievable drive to the net there for Cole Reshny and Team Canada. And with 16:01, me criticizing Team Canada's 5-on-5 play, we have got back even. And a nice play there as McKenna created the distraction. Then Reshny walks out of the corner around Orszaluk. Michael Hage with his second assist of the game. Orszaluk backs into the corner trying to prevent the goal from McKenna. Reshny gets no respect. The Calgary Flames prospect gets the goal. And just like that, it is a tie hockey game. You love to see it. Gavin McKenna, the distraction in front. Cole Reshny, the goal to tie the hockey game, as this one's Juracek off the draw. We can't breathe these easy yet. Tube said the next goal wins, while Canada's still got to get another one to win it. As off the end wall, Czechia inside the Canadian zone, push it back to the blue line. Juracek fakes out Iginla, turns it over ultimately to Misa, and this will be loaded up through the neutral zone to the near side for Iginla to the far side, picking it up back in front. Misa just could not jam home the backhand from Porter Martone. This one along the far side wall. Nice battle win there for, I believe, one of the defensemen for Canada, as McKenna picks up the secondary assist on that goal. As Brunick, puck over near side for McKenzie. We got 15:20 to go here in this third period to decide if we're going to overtime or if Canada or Czechia will win outright in regulation. Canada, by the way, will want to score as many goals as humanly possible in the next 15 minutes to avoid the crushing defeat late that Czechia has delivered the last 2 years, as Czechia back to the blue line inside the Canadian zone. Under 15 to go. The shot fired through traffic, misses wide, picking it up near side. It'll be a battle there for Martone against Matka. Matka battling, and now support from his Czech teammates, as this one is 4 Canadians on the puck, and it'll allow Danford to flip off glass and out into neutral zone, as this will be Galvis picking it up for Czechia. He'll backhand high up to Nestrasil, and across through the neutral now comes Czechia. In on the Canadian net, down the slot. Czechia is denied by the stick of Ben Danford, and this one through, tipped off the stick again. Czechia one more time. Galvis with the puck. He's barely staying on his edges, just chewing up ice out there. And Sikora will come up with his puck now for Canada. The puck to the far side corner. Shot off the sharp angle. Goes up and out of play, or maybe it stayed in. And Canada with the puck, confused what to do with it, was Desnoyers. It'll be Aitchison helping along the wall, turning it over high in the zone. Here's another opportunity for Galvis to keep it alive here for Czechia. Back to the blue line. The pass kind of flips up, and Sikora will be able to battle it back onto the tape of Galvis as Czechia completes line changes here. And now Desnoyers coming back the other way on the turnover by Czechia. Desnoyers skating to the outside, now skating to the front of the net, trying to tuck it home. The bounce in front, almost favorable on Orszaluk, who couldn't get a handle. Now Reshny, the goal scorer, looking for the hat trick. Reed, the shot from the point, goes off of a body in front, and here's Hage behind the net. Hage will look out of the corner. He will skate to the front, jam that puck in on net on Orszaluk again. Not to be fooled twice. Pass in front. Reed just misses the short side tip in this one. Back to the blue line again. Here's McKenna. McKenna over to Reed, the one-timer through traffic. Rebound in front. Cleared away by Czechia to the near side corner, picking it up and stealing it is Hayes. Hayes sees it tipped off his stick and out into the neutral zone. Canada desperately chasing after that puck. They'll rim it along the near side boards. Back for McKenna. Full flight. Hayes down the wing with Reshny supporting the shot by Hayes. Blocked in front, and now that one goes off of the dome of Reshny out into the neutral zone. Tell me this game was going to get good. I knew it. As Hayes to the near side. He'll pass across to the far side of the zone, right wing. The shot goes up over top of the net from the blue line. I believe that was Perek up top. And that was actually Brunik, because here's now an opportunity for Martone in the first line to get on the ice. McKenna's still out there for Canada as Misa battling along the end wall. 12:30 to go here in this third period of play. 21-20 the shots for Czechia, but we're all tied up now as this puck off the end wall scooped along there for Czechia. Back to the point. Brunik picks it up. Here's a shot from again up over top of the net. It goes into the near side boards as that camera angle fooled me, that's for sure. Keeping it on side was Perek. Turnover nonetheless, and here's now an opportunity for Czechia. 2-on-2 back the other way towards the net. Skating in, saved by Ivan Kovac standing tall there, and this will be worked back by Czechia to the far side. The pace in this third period, absolutely electric. I can barely keep up. Shot fired in off the end wall to the far side. Czechia able to come up with it off the shot in. Roll around to the near side. Dot shot through traffic. Lands in front of Ivan Kovac, and Czechia first ones to it again after it was cleared from the front. 11.5 to go in the third period of play. Klima over to the far side, picking it up, looking for the shot, not coming from the point there. Now back to the shot from the high point. Rifled through traffic, misses wide of the net, and here's Brunik along the end wall. Brunik and everybody battling for that puck. Instead, Czechia back to the near side point. Man over the shot from the point. Blocked there by O'Reilly. Canada in full survival mode on this shift. Puck towards the net. Blocked again in front by Canada. Here's a chance for Klima. He'll flip up on the puck. Czechia just running around the Canadian top line on this shift. Man, the shot through traffic. Blocked again, and here's a flip out into the neutral zone. That will bounce all the way to Orshuluk. No, it won't. It will be not an icing call somehow against Canada. I guess they must have just barely gained center. Here's Sikora over now here to this near side. As this off the end wall. Picking it up now along the wall, Sikora. As it'll be tapped to the far side again for Sikora to the blue line. The shot from traffic. As it hits something in front, Jack Ivan Kovac took contact, and he is woozy in the net by the looks of it. Here down the left wing is Jet Luchenko getting Baudouin chasing into that puck again. Canada is without the only Brady Martin that's been such a difference maker at this tournament so far for the Canadian squad. Down the wing, busting in on net. Czechia scores. It's 4-3. CR with the big time goal for Czechia, and the Canadian defense just kind of parting like the Red Sea a little bit there and getting the job done for Czechia to go up 4-3. Whew, that is a tough end to what was an absolutely incredible sequence of hockey, that's for sure. Yep, that's how jacked up I am, I guess. That's where we're at. Okay, all right. I guess we're going to clutch up here. This is going to be an absolutely incredible finish to tonight's hockey game. Friends, definitely if you're new to the channel, Czechia has just made it 4-3. I want you to stick around. I want you to be here. If I can get some Olympic hockey going on, love to have you aboard. Of course, love to have you aboard for the Edmonton Oilers stuff as well, as it is 4-3 for Czechia late in this hockey game's third period. I guess 10.5 or somewhere there. What do we got for time? What do we got? We got, 10-11 to go in this third period of play. Face off at center ice, Canada. We need a power play or another 5-on-5 marker here. Face off between Hayes and whoever was in the dot there is Wojtek Shiar gets the goal for Czechia. And now it's behind the Canadian net. Pulitin with the puck for Czechia. Battling there, Canada trying to get it free. This will work back to the blue line. The shot by Jurček. Save made by Ivan Kovac, who again, that was a beautiful goal for Shiar, but a tough goal to give up if you are Team Canada, friends. That is a tough one, that's for sure. So if you haven't already left a like on the stream tonight, definitely make sure to do that. We're rocking 76. We're 9 away from the all-time record here at the World Juniors so far this year. And as well, if you, like I said, haven't hit that subscribe button here tonight, I want you to get that done for me. Simply put, it's been a fantastic World Junior so far, and I'd love to have you aboard on the quest for 20,000 subscribers here on Dolynny TV. We're up now 962 away from 20,000. I know I'm hitting this hard for those of you that have been around on the live stream a little bit here, but my apologies there. It's just, again, we're turnstiling about 100 new people every minute and 16 seconds, so got to get that plug in there when I can. Of course, friends, this one shaping up to be dramatic down the finish, as Team Canada tied it up just what feels like moments ago, and now Czechia is blowing this thing wide open once more, making it a 4-3 game, and Canada chasing coming into the period is chasing with about 10 minutes to go in this, the third period of play. So we'll see how it pans out as Canada and Czechia getting close, as the U18 Women's World Championship, by the way, gets going between Canada and Switzerland on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So that would be probably a 6:10 puck drop between Canada and Switzerland at the U18 Women's Worlds. Here we go, 4-3 Czechia over top of Canada, 23-21 the shots on goal. 9:51 remains in this third period of play as Czechia has just found a way to get the job done. And now Reshny will take the face off to the left of Ivan Kovic, who so far this game has had himself a decent game. Canada's let him down. The shot off the blocker to the far side, battled away there, and this will be cleared out to the blue line by Canada. And right across, none further, as the Czechs are able to get the turnover high in the Canadian zone on yet another failed clearing attempt. Here's Hayes loading up McKenna. McKenna will get through the neutral and flip in, allowing Hayes to be the first one in the near side corner. He'll take heavy contact. Reshny nonetheless there for Canada. Instead, a turnover by Reshny off a couple of sticks, and Czechia will fire back into the Canadian end. Here's Ivan Kovic playing it for Reed. This second line, makeshift that it is without Brady Martin. Turnover again by Canada in the neutral zone. 9:10 to go as another play here for Ivan Kovic across to the far side. Loaded up, flipped into the neutral. Trying to speed onto that puck as Misa. He's unable to do it. He'll tap it back in to the Czech zone. 8:58 to go. Man, this game deserves overtime. At least give me that, Canada. At least give me that if we're going to lose again here this year, as Misa along the boards tying it up. The top line for Canada, Porter Martone scoring the game-tying goal would be an absolute blockbuster move for him, the captain for Canada, and of course all the questions about him after game one against Czechia this year at the tournament. Instead, a turnover high to Czechia, loading up down the right wing. It's the 2026 World Junior semifinal. The save by Ivan Kovic, scrambling front, kicked out. My goodness, a shot from the point goes up over top of the net. Ivan Kovic just might have saved the game for Canada. That was an absolute dandy of a chance for Czechia. Great drive to the net, and an even bigger save for Ivan Kovic, sliding around at the near side of the net, trying to keep that puck out, and he did. This puck now working for Canada inside their own zone, loading up. Here's Beaudoin through the neutral zone. Across onto the tape of Iginla, off of Iginla into the corner as O'Reilly out there now supporting Beaudoin. Canada and Czechia engaged in the last 8 minutes of this hockey game. What has been an absolute classic thus far. Again, you thought Sweden and Finland was good. Well, Canada and Czechia, I thought maybe Canada could put this one to bed quickly. They didn't, and here's a pass to the middle for Bruno. Gets cut off. Pass to the middle again. Slot area for Beaudoin is tipped out of the zone by Czechia into the netting with 7:35 to go here in this third period play. Jack Ivan Kovic off the corner of the pad, the save of the game as Czechia almost iced it right there. And we will have a chance to take another TV timeout, friends. Thanks for being aboard here on Dolynny TV. Again, I encourage you, I won't even flash the graphic, I'll just talk about it, for you to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned here for the Oilers and Canadian coverage coming here in 2026. Oilers playoffs, Team Canada at the Olympics, gold medal game tomorrow. I think as well, you got the FIFA World Cup, which I might get interested in live streaming a game for Team Canada. And as well, you got to figure as well the World Baseball Classic, plus the World Juniors again here next year. Once again, Edmonton and Red Deer. So definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't left a like on the stream yet, what are you doing? Get that done. Thank you, please. As the Oilers, you know what? They're classic for leaving it to last. And we'll see if Team Canada taking a page out of the Oilers' book here tonight pays dividends, giving us a thriller down the stretch, and Canada leaving it to last here, trying to get the job done against Czechia and not be eliminated from gold medal contention for the third straight year against Czechia. Jack Ivankovic with possibly the save of the game here down the right wing, and the pass to the middle to the backhand just turned aside by the shoelaces of the skates basically for Jack Ivankovic. This game weighing heavily on the old nervous system here. This one's got a guy shaking in the boots. 27-21, the shots on goal for Czechia. Face off to the right of Orszaluk for Czechia. The puck had just previously bounced out of play. The Canadian squad is without Brady Martin right now. Lost him due to injury, maybe perhaps a broken collarbone. Cameron Reid, a beautiful defensive play to keep Czechia off the puck. He'll spin around to the far side boards. Sikora, though, the first one to meet at Canada, though, able to snipe it away at the blue line. And here comes Denoye around the left wing. He'll reel it in behind the net. The puck loaded up to the far side. Czechia is able to come up with it here. 7:10 to go. Czechia across the Canadian blue line. Spin in front. The opportunity again. Loaded at the side of the net. Scramble in front. Czechia never able to get the shot off. Avoids going in the back of the net for Canada. The shot from the right in front slot area goes up and out of play. And Czechia, 3 beautiful chances in front there to finish this game right then and there, and couldn't get the job done against Canada, as that went off the skate, and then just the backhand swipe from Nestrasil just does not work out, and Canada avoids disaster in their own zone, and Canada just cannot seem to get out of their own way as Zane Parekh goes down the tunnel for Canada. So on the D side of things, there will be a new hero unless Parekh can get back into action here, as this one will be Reshny and the Canadian second line, what's left of it after losing Brady Martin out there, Hage and McKenna. This one in the neutral zone, fired in. Ivankovic gloves it down. He'll leave it there for Aitchison. 6:45 to go here in this third period to play. 27-21. The shots on goal for Team Czechia as they lead 4-3. Starting out from beyond their own net with 6.5 to go is Reshny. Darts through the neutral into the Czech zone. Down into the left-hand corner. He'll wheel around and get the puck going to the left or right-hand point. Instead, it's a turnover there for Canada. And now a 2-on-1 back the other way. Loading up to be a 3-on-2 with support coming back for Canada. The trailers all come in. The puck goes off to the side of the net. The wraparound opportunity kicked away by Ivankovic. A Czech player eats a stick or something up front. Delayed penalty upcoming to Canada, and the puck will go out of play from a point shot for Czechia, and we'll have a stoppage and play with 6:05 to go here in this third period to play. My goodness, Canada has to kill a penalty now. Are you kidding me? My poor heart doesn't have this. My pea-sized brain doesn't have this in it to take it. So, tough go as Gavin McKenna comes up and cross-checks the man in the face in front of the net. I'm not 100% sure what aggravated McKenna there. That's not exactly his game, but he gets up there and throws the cross-check again. If they're going to keep calling the cross-checks, I guess that's going to be consistency right there as Gavin McKenna goes to the box for Canada. And now with 6:05 to go, Zane Parekh has returned to the bench. We're going to have the officials talk things over at center ice. Is this reviewable, I guess, for a penalty, or are they talking about reviewing a goal here? As I think maybe that one, or are they talking about, ejecting McKenna here? That, I guess, would be the call. As that was a tough penalty to be taken if you're Gavin McKenna right there. Selfish on Galvis, who again, I don't know what that play serves for Gavin McKenna other than to go sit in the box. And now the officials talking things over. I guess they're reviewing it for a 5. And Team Canada with 21 shots on goal, only 3 goals. The Czechs lead 4-3. If Czechia gets a 5-minute major here, you got to figure that the game will likely be done. But again, Canada have done stranger things at the World Juniors over the years. That's just, I don't know how many times they need to watch it. That is the most, useless play that Gavin McKenna could have made right there. I actually don't have a clue what Gavin McKenna's even thinking there. So that is just all around tough of a penalty to take if you're Gavin McKenna. But 27-21 the shots on goal for Czechia. They lead 4-3. McKenna sitting in the box nervously waiting to see what he's going to come up with. 2-minute minor. Okay. 2-minute minor for McKenna. So Czechia, if Canada can come up with a penalty killing effort here, will be in tough to finish out this game with the lead. Obviously, like Canada's been the last few years against Czechia. So we'll see if this sticks around as Gavin McKenna just comes up. More like not a straight across stick. It was more the glove punch with the butt end of the stick. Still doesn't make it any better. Still cross-checking minor nonetheless. And we'll redo this face-off with 6:05 to go here in this third period of play. One back by Czechia. The pass to the near side as it's logging up Fibger. Fibger with the puck again. He will skate around looking to wheel and deal at the high point. He'll go across to the far side for Juracek. Juracek in that kind of Alexander Ovechkin spot there as Juracek will look to pass this one back down low to the blue line. Juracek's going to look off. And now skated at the blue line. Juracek, the Czech power play, looking methodical to find the next goal. Big save by Ivan Kovac. Second jam at it. Big time save for Ivan Kovac, and Canada will get the clear down the ice. $1:20 to go here in this power play for Czechia. This is going to be a big time kill for Canada if they can get it done, and it looks like Czechia is offside at the Canadian blue line with $1:12 to go here in this third period to play. 5:17 the time remaining in this third period. Canada needs to get the job done here in this third period of play. That's all it comes down to. Just a big time stop here on this power play and then a goal to send us back in. Do we have a too many men situation for... Oh, we have a too many men for Czechia. You've got to be kidding me. Too many men for Czechia on the play. And we will go to 4-on-4 here in this late third period. Holy... No. You're kidding me. 4-on-4 as Czechia could not complete the line change quickly. And Quaddy 100% agreed. What an error there on Czechia's part. Them crossing the blue line, I thought it was an offside. But again, playing without sound, it's hard. As Michael Misa and Porter Martone, here again, an opportunity for Martone to be the hero for Canada. And Martone will get back to the blue line, Perek. But we are going to redo this face-off as Misa or Martone picked the puck up with the glove hand off the draw. Czechia is talking things over with the officials saying, hey, maybe shouldn't that be a penalty for closing the puck on the hand? And will this be 4-on-3? That'll be the question as Misa went to scoop this one away and kind of that's whatever happens on that play is fair enough in my mind. As Misa doesn't actually cover the puck with his hand, thank goodness. But I don't know if that's going to change the outcome here for the officials. $1:08 of 4-on-4 time remaining. That would go down to $1:08 of 4-on-3. As, my goodness, we'll see how this goes. As Canada, Misa, did he just cost himself and Team Canada a golden opportunity here? The officials still converging about it. Closing that puck on the hand. The Canadian fans just looking down in disappointment in the stands. That could again silence the chance to try and score the goal that would tie this game. Back and forth this one has gone. And now the officials definitely talking things over still. Why don't you just watch the replay, boys, instead of huddling up and see for yourselves, see what happens. This is what I don't understand about hockey, but we have all the replays angles available and the referees still just confer about things. As I don't think Misa ever truly closed the puck on the hand. And Canada has been assessed a delay of game minor, so there you have it. Canada goes to the box for delay of game, and I mean, fair enough. Like I said, fair enough if that's a penalty. I didn't think it was, but fair enough if it is. And we have absolute chaos breaking out here. Penalty after penalty after penalty here in the late stages of this third period. Luke, welcome in. Merch, welcome in as well, as we will go to a TV timeout here. Friends, glad to have you aboard again. I'll do my own little TV timeout. If you want to hang out for some more Oilers coverage, the Canadian squad at the Olympics as well, if the game times are okay, a little bit of World Baseball Classic, the Edmonton Oilers playoffs, and then the FIFA World Cup. Love to have you aboard here on Dolynny TV, as we're going to be a whole bunch of Canada this year and a whole bunch of Edmonton Oilers down as the stretch of 2026 gets underway. Glad to have you along for what has been a fun day of hockey so far, talking about the Oilers start of the day, and then ultimately as well into the stretch that is now this hockey game. Third period, 5-something remaining with a 4-on-3 for Czechia. A lot of open ice out there. A mistake for Czechia could lead still to a goal for Canada, and shorthanded 4-on-3. What a goal it would be to even the game at 4 apiece, but Canada still has to just find the back of the net to make that happen. So we'll see how this gets going. As Barbershop, Jordan Eberle moment, that would be absolutely. So, and playing stupider and stupidest penalty run there for Canada and Czechia. Canada now having to face the face-off inside their own zone. Jack Ivankovic, did anyone happen to catch that graphic? They very quickly flashed on the screen for when the game for Sweden and the gold medal game, whoever gets through from Canada Czechia, is, because I would love to know that, as gold medal game slated for 6:30. Okay, never mind. It's on the TSN website. We're good. I got the understanding. We're good. Here we go. Let's get this done, friends. Of course, as Inspiratio was saying, if you can hit that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated here as well. As we're back underway, Galvis at the blue line to the far side, picking it up. He's the one that drew the penalty on Gavin McKenna. Galvis at the blue line, looking to the near side. The shot from Skora not loading. Here's the near side shot, and Jack Ivankovic will load it up into the glove on Shihar near side. And with 5 minutes remaining in this third period, can Canada get the job done here at the 2025 or 2026 World Junior Semifinal? I keep messing that up. It is all coming down to this for the Canadian squad. A face-off in their own zone, still shorthanded. 4-on-3 for the next 52 seconds as this one to the far side, bounced out by Canada down the length of the ice. Orshuluk out to play the puck. 4:50 to go here in this one as Czechia loads up in their own zone. Czechia through the middle of the ice will turn back. Galvis will see an incredible amount of ice time, that much I'm sure, here in this late stage of the third period. In the near side, Shihar back to the blue line for Sikora. Sikora loading up through the middle. He's going to stumble up on the puck. This one looking towards the net to the far side. The shot denied there by Ivankovic. 18 seconds to go on the 4-on-3 power play for Czechia to the near side. Shihar back loading up Galvis. Galvis's options are declined by a kick save and a beauty in the slot by the Canadian defender. 4-on-3 about to expire with 2 seconds left on the clock. This one through the middle of the ice, tipped off the skates of Galvis and a Canadian player. Galvis will just be forced to fire it around low to the near side. Baudouin. Baudouin will load up Gavin McKenna, who's out there on the 4-on-4. Chance to score the biggest goal in Canadian World Junior history for the last little bit. He just missed wide. I cannot believe it. I thought Gavin McKenna just had his Connor Bedard moment. This one, loading up. Reed picking up Gavin McKenna. 2-on-2 back the other way. Reed and Hayes. Hayes, the shot fired, save made. Gavin McKenna was not ready for that rebound. This one, 3:26 to go. 4-on-4 is about set to end in 7 seconds time. Can barely make words here. Czechia to the middle of the ice. Another save by Ivankovic. A big one, a beauty, and 3 seconds remain in the power play for Czechia. So it's 5-on-5 once again with 3:10 to go here in this third period to play. The queued up one-timer, rebound off the side of the net, over top of the net. Now Jack Ivankovic continues to make save after save, now up to 28 on 32 shots. Misa pushes down low in behind the net for Czechia to the far side. Canada, first one's there is Porter Martone, pushes it forward. Here's Aitchison along the wall, picking it up behind the net. Back to the blue line. Brunick, the shot through traffic. Rebound in front. Canada, Martone! He scores the goal! Canada evens the game! goal there. And I told you it was going to be Porter Martone that scores. Hopefully the big goal. He needed his big moment of the World Juniors. And you betcha, just like that, Porter Martone with 2:41 to go evens the game for Canada. I'm sorry, that was an all-time freakout right there. But Canada gets the job done. Whew, my goodness. Porter Martone finds a way to even the game for Canada. Big time play in front. Martone took a lot of heat at the start of the tournament, but now he has just scored the biggest goal of the tournament so far for Team Canada. Hold on, I gotta come down off the high a little bit there. That's a lot of fun right there when you get to celebrate a goal that much. That is fantastic. Go to Porter Martone, and now the face-off back. Like I said, this game deserves overtime. Are we going to get it? And did I just use every last bit of my energy? Is this one off the draw here for Canada back into the Czech zone? 2:30 to go, and are the teams going to play it to sudden death, or is Canada going to try and find a way to advance to the gold medal game? Aitchison, the shot goes in behind the net. Here's Sam O'Reilly. Sam O'Reilly plays it down low for Baudouin. Back to the blue line for Danford, around to the near side for Denoyer. Denoyer back near side. Gets the job going here as I'm just watching myself on the replay. That was a whole bundle of excitement. And just trying to wind back down as here's Czechia to the far side. Czechia to the front of the net off the pads of Jack Ivankovic, who again, my goodness, let me tell you, if Ivankovic doesn't make the sequence of saves he did right before that goal, this game's nails for Canada. As this one's back now, Czechia in the middle of the ice to the far side, picking it up, loading across the blue line, and Czechia pushed back behind the net as they tried all that way down the wing to try and get to the front of the net, and then a turnover to Canada in front of the net, and here's now McKenna. McKenna has his stick ripped out of his hand and picking it up now near side. It'll be Benek for Czechia. Across the line, Czechia in on net again. The shot towards the net goes wide. Oh no, Czechia scored. I thought it was wide when everybody was chasing into the corner, but Czechia has just once more, with a $1:14 to go in this third period of play, taken a 5-4 lead. Wow. Wow. Okay. This game ain't done giving yet. It can't be. This has been absolute drama start to finish. And Czechia, after the elation of the Porter Martone goal, finds a way to get it going, to get it to now what is 5-4. So friends, again, if you swear in the chat, name calling, anything like that, that tends to get deleted, just so you know there, Luke. What a goal. As I don't think that's necessarily kicked in for Czechia. I think that's just a player turning in the crease, trying to make the play. As I don't see how that would be a kicked in goal for Czechia at all. I know they're replaying this quite a bit here. And I mean, tough. Yeah, that's just very tough. So tough to make that a kick if that was for Czechia. If they rule that no goal for Czechia, man, that's where you start questioning the refereeing if you're Czechia 100%. And I mean, as a Canadian, sure, but you don't want to win that way. So the question is now the referees reviewing the goal here for Czechia that made it 5-4 to see if it's a kicking motion. Again, I don't see a distinct kicking motion whatsoever. Again, guy just turning into the puck and it bounces off as he puts his blade down. Again, I didn't play hockey at any level, so that's kind of where we'll let the officials make the determination. Really, that puck just bobbles through, so man, craziness. As yeah, I don't at all think, just the way his heel turned, that should not be a reviewed goal. Although, I mean, right on that replay, definitely, if you want to watch from the net cam view, it kind of makes sense why they review it, but I still don't think it's a review that'll come back Canada's way. Official at center ice now. Call on the ice stands. It's still a good goal, and Czechia, with a $1:14 to go, will have to surprise with defense. Of course, it's been Canada who's blown the game against Czechia the last 2 years. will Czechia be able to survive the Canadian attack here late in this third period? $1:14 to go in this third period of action tonight, as Canada and Czechia come right down to the wire here in what should be an incredible finish to this hockey game. 36-23 the shots on goal. Canada's still got $1:14, and at the World Juniors, the last minute of a semifinal game is about the craziest you can possibly get. So we'll see if Canada can get this job done in a one-goal game. Let's get this going here. See what Canada can do off the face-off. One back to the near side. Canada through the neutral zone. Porter Martone with the puck. He'll rip it in around the far side boards as Reshny and Baudouin are out there for Canada. Reshny with the puck. Looking shot fired by Reshny. He plows the goaltender. And that, I don't know if that's going to get a response. And we have a penalty. Yep, that's going to get a penalty. As Reshny, can't believe it. Canada had just taken the goalie out of the net. And Orshiluk, looks like he solved the call there. Reshny really wants a piece of that referee. And Team Canada, same problem as last year, the lack of discipline cost them down the stretch here in this tournament. As Reshny gets, he gets plowed in there a little bit, but he takes the leap of faith, definitely trying to take out Orshiluk. There's no contact. That is about as dumb of a penalty as you can possibly take if you're Team Canada right there. Wow, Reshny again, just the penalties in this third period have been as dumb as they come. As Reshny continues to be fired up here. $36 shots for Czechia in this hockey game. 23 for Canada, 4 goals. Face off for Hayes to the right-hand side of Ivan Kovic as Team Canada tries to head up the ice, and Gavin McKenna out there penalty killing here for Canada. Obviously trying to get it to a 5-on-5 with the empty net. This one along the wall behind the net. It'll be a play now far side for Tisha Ginla. Ginla back behind the net as they'll go around to the far side, and here's now Czechia, puck eluding them, trying to get to the empty net. The shot fired, scores. 6-4 Czechia, 25.9. Tough. Third year in a row, Canada just cannot get past Czechia. And Reshny is absolutely fired up. I wouldn't be surprised if Reshny is going to see himself head to the dressing room 25 seconds early. That is gutting if you're Canada. Absolutely just brutal game start to finish. The Canadians get the game tied up and then melt down, and then Martone wants a piece of somebody after the empty net goal, as he did last time around as well. The fact that the tournament ends on this way is wild. Again, Canada, should have been better in this game and just didn't want it bad enough. Friends, if you are new to Dolynny TV, thanks for being aboard this evening. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button on your way out. I don't know how many of you are on the way out, but I would love to have you hit that subscribe button. Come back for the Oilers. The Oilers disappoint in the regular season, but then they go all the way to the Cup Finals, and we love to see the Oilers in the Cup Finals. So I'd love to have you back for this one, as tough finish here for Team Canada, and just end of the day, not good enough once again against Czechia, as Czechia will have a 2-man advantage with a minute 33 to go here. And Canada will chase inside their own zone, I guess power play actually. And this will do it for the hockey game. The puck knocks the stick over the hands of the Czech player, and Czechia is just going to wind this game down. 13 seconds to go in this third period of play. And Czechia will hold it inside their own zone, and they will celebrate with 3 seconds left on the clock. Juracek, time winding down. Czechia will get to go to the gold medal game. Hats off. I mean, a devastating loss for Canada, but absolutely hats off to Czechia here this evening for taking home the victory. An unreal finish. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here tonight. Do appreciate everybody hanging out again here on the live stream. That will wrap up the World Juniors here on Dolynny TV for 2026. I think we'll see if we can get Matt convinced to come over for Sweden versus Czechia. We'll see how that works out. Of course, I'm hoping to be live, and we'll see if we are live again. But again, Canada this evening eliminated for the third year in a row, this time in the semifinals by Czechia here at the World Juniors 6-4 final. Friends, that'll do it for me tonight. I gotta get back to bed. Gotta get going with what is going to be a big day of work tomorrow for a new year 2026. Glad to have everybody aboard for the ride. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Everybody showing up and showing out. For right now, though, this will do it for the live stream. Thanks for being aboard, Canada. Losers yet again to Czechia.